Demogorgon? It's a Demogorgon!
Is there? I can't see it. Something's coming, though.
Oh shit, it's a Demogorgon.
Erevan.
No, fireball or protection?
What the fuck?
Alright. Well, it's good. It's on now.
Dave Jack's punishing himself by muting.
Well,
I
will. Yes, everybody, hello, welcome to Monday night and another episode of the Critical Fail. We are the Critical Fail. We are a group of veteran and some novice role players. We are doing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition Descent into Avernus, which we also just like to call Another Day in Hell. I am the Dungeon Master. My name's Mark. I also Dungeon Mastered the last campaign that we did called Everyone Dies, in case you saw that one. That was a super short little campaign, took only 8 years to finish. And children were born, jobs were lost, and presidents were there and gone, countries collapsed. All the while, we just played our merry little fucking game. It was awesome. Hopefully we could do it again. Right now, I'm not sure exactly which episode we're on, but our characters are basically, they have gone through Duke Thalmara Van Thamper's manor. She was nowhere to be found, but they did manage to kill one of her sons, Thirstwell, sort of a decrepit kind of a invalid who had like a little army of imps that he used as his eyes and ears around the city. Here, let me... hold on, I've got a picture of him. Where is good old Thirstwell? Thirstwell, there he is. So that's the guy. And he had an infernal puzzle box on him, which the characters picked up. Now, there's no telling what's inside, but hopefully they will find that out. They also they met with and got some information from his brother, Mortlock, who basically gave information useful to the players against his own family, because his family tried to murder him. Let's see, what else do we have? They also met with, kidnapped, and were dragging around the Van Thamper Manor one Amric Van Thamper, the third of the Van Thamper brothers, who is right there. And these are all the three sons of Duke Thalmara Van Thamper. She is one of the Dukes of Baldur's Gate, of which there are 4. The other 3 being
Dukes of Thamper?
Hune, Elder Ravengard, and the 4th one is unimportant. I've got his name here somewhere, but I want my pencil. But there is a 4th Duke. Now, the characters again, they went down. They found a temple to some sort of devil worshipping cult beneath the manor.
Boo,
They
evil.
killed a bunch of cultists, including some actual devils that looked like. Where is it? This guy here.
Better not be a picture of me.
This here guy, a barbed devil, and then there was a smaller version of that.
A barbed
They also
devil.
ran into. Now they have also now found a. Oh yeah, Thunder in the Morning is also who we're missing.
No,
Because
he's here. He just went to go do something.
oh, that's right, he's cooking. But he found this little adorable guy, the family cat named Slobber Chops, who is a winged cat.
It's my new familiar because I'm going
yes.
to become something that needs a familiar.
Like had no reason to do that before, but now this is your new life quest. I wanted it for all my life for the last 15 minutes. And let's see. I believe that kind of brings us up to where we are right now. We are in the manor. Guards have been dispatched.
I thought we were up at the.
Oh yeah, sorry. That's right. Yeah. Sorry. I forgot. Yes.
Rhea.
Stop moving me around. That's not where I was. I saw that. I got moved.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just gathering up these tokens here. Gathering tokens so that I can get everybody together, so that I can hopefully move everybody.
The gathering of the tokens.
Haha, tokens. Oh boy. Again,
now that
my
we have assembled our list of the dramatis persona, we'll have one last look, and I will delete them. Bye-bye.
Okay. Now, our characters had set up a. That's right. I'd forgotten the very last thing that we did. I believe, and I made a note of this myself. Yes, PCs in Upper City and horses sent around to Basilisk Gate. Rendezvous at Basilisk Gate to head to Little Calamshan. So the characters are looking for a safe place to spend the night, away from prying eyes and the possibility of some angry.
Thanks for subbing, Grin and Floyd.
Traitor Flaming Fist. People that might be coming after them.
Oh, thanks for your gift, Badger on the Green.
Thank you for gifts. We enjoy gifts. But that basically brings us to where we're at now. Our characters did send horses around. As Baldur's Gate has this interesting rule: no beasts of burden, no horses, donkeys, mules, or other types of animals are allowed within the city gates unless you are part of the city watch in the Upper City. Now, that is the hard and fast rule for the lay people. However, they managed to procure these horses. These are draft horses at the Van Thamper Manor, because the manors usually have large grounds that need taken care of, and that can be they are allowed to do and house animals of horses and stuff like that on their own property. They're just not allowed throughout the main city. So our characters are going around the gate, and so here, let's go to Baldur's City Gate here. And let's move everybody. Boom.
Now my eyes hurt. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's taking a while. It looks kind of like a Jackson Pollock painting to me right now. It's all super low.
Yeah.
There we go. Now I got it.
Thank you for the sub, Badger on the Green.
So here is where our characters drop the horses off. Basically at Blackgate, outside Black Dragon Gate, which is a sort of outer city area, and most specifically at Garenmore Stables. And Garenmore Stables actually has a number of outfits throughout the city, as you will see. including right over here. There's another Garenmore Stables and Menagerie outside Basilisk Gate. Now, again, they're going through Basilisk Gate, which is here, to get to Little Calimshan, which is in the outer city, and it's its own like tiny metropolis. It is a walled city in and of itself, and a couple of our characters have contacts within that city. It is going to be getting close to supper time by the time our characters get there. And again, let's do introductions first. My name is Mark.
Thanks,
I'm the
Nada.
Dungeon Master. And thank you for humoring me as I went through that recap as quickly as I possibly could without delving too deeply into the minutia. But let's go with our other introductions. First of all, definitely the guy responsible for putting together this whole Twitch thingy and knows the YouTubes and how to work an internet. That would be Lucius Devalin. Why don't you tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what you do?
Thank you so much, God. My name is Lucius Devalin, and I am a half-drow, half-elven drow from Little Calimshan. You see, I was an orphan on the streets there, and I was requisitioned by the House of Elton. I was given a place to live, a means of providing for myself, and all they asked for was a lifetime of service. I, of course, am honored to have the privilege of serving in House Elton. And I have, I'll just say, I guess, I've been trained in the arts of bardery, if that's such a word. Bardery. But
Not buggery.
not buggery, but bardery.
Bardery.
And not bard-y.
Although the distinctions get a little muddy.
Here's my
Yeah.
plate of meat.
Here's my plate of meat. Yeah, so before this gets too out of hand, I shall pass it over to Jared the Hellhound Kincaid.
Well, if you've got a problem and you need help, and if you can find it, perhaps you can hire the Hellhound. I am the Baron of Beatdown, the Count of Crunch, the Duke of Death Dealing, and the King of Kicking Ass. And if absolutely something needs to be destroyed overnight, set on fire, and the ass is pissed on, accept no substitutes. Ladies and gentlemen, Jared Kincaid.
Accept no
I am a paladin of sorts who's had a little bit rough go of it. A similar problem that befell the House Elton happened to mine. So I actually made my way to Baldur's Deep looking for some contacts to see if I could figure out who this was and wreak some righteous vengeance upon that ass, if you may. And along the way, an old friend of my family contacted me, who happens to not necessarily be on the material plane. And through the course of that, and sort of slightly taking advantage of my thirst for vengeance, I started to dabble into the world of the Warlock. And it's actually becoming quite interesting as we're balancing out some things we're finding along the way with, for lack of a better term, the old family friend kind of whispering in my ear here and there. So with that, I would like to turn it over to perhaps the straight man of the group, the vanilla to everybody else's chocolate thunder, Mordecai the Magnificent.
I knew as soon as you said straight man, that was coming to me. Well, welcome, everybody. My name is Joey Joe, and I play Mordecai the Magnificent. Yes, that's right. And I'm the illusionist of the group. And I like to add a little bit of flavor to things, I suppose. What's going on in Morty's life right now? I've got a bit of the whole interesting whisper thing going on too. So I'm really looking forward to connecting with Jaren when we finally get out of the tunnels, which we are, I suppose. Yeah, we're just really 4 levels in and really just kind of gaining traction into this story. So it's next couple of sessions should be fun. And with that, I'll pass it on to Thunder in the morning. Bring it on, meat man.
The meat eater.
My name is Matt. I play Thunder in the morning. Thunder in the morning is a Tabaxi paladin. He hail from the west side, where the east side, some side. Thunder in the morning is a Tabaxi. He does talk to people very much, not very smart, but he does like to kill things. For paladin, he is of the order of the Leroy Jenkins. So Leroy, the Leroy Jenkins, the Leroy Jenkins. He is going to, he had a kitty now. He liked a kitty, and the kitty can fly. So he liked the kitty. He has a kitty, had wings. Thank you. I pass to who's left? Grin?
Yeah, Grin can go. Well, thank you, Thunder. That was short but pointless. So I'm Greg, and I play Peregrine Ghostwind, also known as Grin, a human fighter, sailor of the seven seas, a pirate, or at least a former pirate, trying to make a more legitimate way through life, though he's finding that difficult, seeing as people expect to have their debts repaid and things like that. So he is joining up with this group in hopes to find some adventure and make some money and find some interesting companions. And I think I've definitely the third one has happened. We'll see about the other two. And I will pass it on to, has Darius, have you gone yet?
I have not, sir.
All right, well, last but certainly, absolutely not the least, seeing as he is a half orc, Darius, everyone returns to the Coda.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alan, and I play Darius Coda of Waterdeep. I am a bard. Do not let the slightly greenish-grey skin fool you. I can more than carry a tune. And I have attached myself to this group at first by happenstance, now by want. There is something about this crew specifically that makes a good tale. There are too many creatures in this world of Faerun who shine and sparkle in their glory. This crew it's no stretch to call them slightly ragtag and underdogs and or cats, given whatever circumstance we're talking about. And I do see an epic tale in the making. So I have started to pen my own work, title TBA. Yes, that's all. I now return it to our glorious dungeon master.
Yay! Well, thank you everybody for those wonderful introductions. We do have a couple other players who are not here currently. One of which is the lovely Elsa Elton, played by Courtney. Elsa is the heir to the Elton noble family fortune, and is sort of the reason why everybody is in this giant mess. on the eve of her 20th birthday, when she would have taken over the leadership of the family from the steward. The steward had a coup, basically murdering all the other loyal members of the family, except for the player characters that you find here. And they have been both on the run and also on the lookout for clues to see if they can determine who is behind it, which they have now got a lot of very positive confirmation that or at least evidence that it was perpetrated by the Van Thampers for the purpose of undermining the authority of the Flaming Fist, as the Flaming Fist was first founded by Elton of House Elton about 100 and some years ago. So Elsa is a long down the chain descendant, the sole surviving heir. And so far, it seems as though not all of the Flaming Fist has turned traitor, as one of the characters that or one of the NPCs, the characters have run into, a guy by the name of Zod, a captain in the guard, is either he does not care or has not heard about this sort of change in command, but he has been a contact of theirs that has proved loyal. Another who hopefully will be showing up in the not too distant future is Riz, played by Marcus, but I'll wait for him to do his whole intro when he gets here. So for the time being, I will be NPCing Elsa, which the players love. That as when I play her, they call her Karen Elsa, because I demand to see the manager about the shoddy conditions of this inn. Because I am a noble and my name is Elsa Elton. But so this brings us to our characters. You will exit through the Basilisk Gate. I have something for this. Basilisk Gate. Somewhere here.
Yes. Where are you, Basilisk Gate? There it is. Right
Right
here.
around the west side.
Let's see.
Just Mark, can you catch me real quick on something? Did Coogs and Amric run? They're still on their own, right?
Yes. Right.
He was trying to find. Yeah, that's one of the things why he kind of needs to be here. But he will make his way to you guys. He lost the trail through the busy crowded streets of the upper city.
And we lost fucking Amric too. That really chaps me.
He's your favorite.
He's everybody's favorite. We all love to hate him.
He is definitely a real cunt. Let's see. Gates.
Tell us how you really feel.
Where is the Basilisk Gate? I swear it's around here somewhere.
Basilisk Gate?
Are you looking at the same map that I am? Because I'm pinging it.
Oh no, sorry. I'm looking in the whatchamacallit, the actual
the knowledge giver
book. That's right. There's no appendix. There's no glossary. Bastards.
It had its appendix removed.
It had appendicitis.
And I hope it was painful, bastards. Let's see.
The gates seem to be in red on this map. Basilisk Gate?
There we go.
Here,
Good old
I'll ping
Google
it again for you. Boom. Boom.
The Basilisk Gate is a gate and local landmark in Baldur's Gate, situated in the outer city wall that separated the lower city district of Eastway from the outer city district of Stony Eyes. The gate acts as an eastern passageway in and out of the city along the Coastway, which passes through the outer city and eventually connects to the lands of intrigue. Basilisk Gate is distinctive in that it is lined with a number of statues, particularly those of prominent deceased patriarchs or the noble families. Says after an effigy of Entar Silvershield was placed above the gate, it then became traditional to honor prominent Baldurians past and present in this manner. So as you pass by, it is very much, if anyone has seen, pictures of, St. Peter's Basilica, it is lined around the edges with all these marble statues of saints and past popes. And so this is very similar.
I've been to St. Peter's Basilica.
The what?
I've been there. It's pretty.
Yeah, me too.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the size of that place is absolutely mind-boggling.
No joke.
Seeing as I've only performed here twice, I will not expect to see my statue. But I'm working.
You're missing a statue.
I'm working towards it.
And that brings you out to the Stony Eyes region. Stony Eyes.
Stony Eyes.
Stony Everybody's got their own Stony Eyes tonight.
Oh dear.
So the smell of the Stony Eyes district is the first
Thank
thing
you for the sub, Duck Duck.
that strikes you. It is a smell of pungent manure. As just outside the Basilisk Gate that gives it its name, the neighborhood is full of stables and stockyards. Many outer city residents who work within the city live here to be as close as possible to the places of business. And you happen to know there is a significant number of half-orcs that seem to be working as laborers and porters, obviously due to their,
NPCs sing with me, we don't need the NPCs, okay?
Rule number 1, do not eat NPCs. Rule number 2, do not eat NPCs.
playing.
We are live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Monday night, and welcome to the Critical Fail. We are playing 5th edition. Hopefully, our audio is working. Otherwise, I look like I'm mining everything. Hi. My name is Mark. I'm the Dungeon Master, and I will be guiding you through Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, Baldur's Gate: Descent into Avernus. Our merry band of hobos. No, you can't see the book. Damn, you almost got me. I was like, sure, you can do the wait a minute.
Okay, almost got it.
Because it's got all the DM stuff.
Everything in it. If you look under this hobo, +5 sword effect. Looks like, oh my god, this close.
So
it counts if the DM gives you the book, not if you go buy the book. I refer to that as passing charisma check. I passed my charisma check, and then he fucking had advantage.
And then I made my insight check. Wait a minute. You're not supposed to have this. Again, so my name is Mark. I'm going to be the Dungeon Master for today's foray into the realms. Hopefully the sound and everything is good. We've got a little...
Try moving the mic just a little closer to you, DM.
Okay.
Just a little bit, if it's possible.
How's that?
I will try to enunciate. I'm going to channel my inner Alan and work on all of my Alan skills. I'm sure Alan is...
That's a lot. That's a little bit better. Yep.
Yes, we actually have 4 of us are all together in the same location today. And we're going to go through and do some really quick introductions here before we jump back into the adventure. And after we introduce everybody, I'll try to catch everybody up with a quick recap of at least the most current events. This campaign we celebrated our 1-year anniversary just a couple weeks ago, which was awesome. And we only had 2 long rests. And we only had 2 long rests.
And we literally only had 5 days in the game.
Yes. Welcome to Dungeons & Dragons. It is like a time travel machine.
This is why you play Warlock.
So again, my name is Mark. I'm the Dungeon Master. And here, let's start with the people here. We will start with my beautiful new bride here on my right. And just introduce who you are, who your character is, and a little bit of info about them.
I am Courtney, and I'm playing Elsa Elton. I am a half-elf sorcerer, and I am the only female and with the least amount of experience playing this game, as you will soon see.
You are also the only female with the most experience
in the game. You have the most experience.
Love it.
Oh, wow.
And that is my husband. Thank you. And I am traveling with all of these guys, helping me try to get back to my throne that I was taken from. I will pass it over to Jaren. Hellhound Kincaid.
My name is Jay, and I do play Jaren Kincaid, also known as the Hellhound. He is he's an interesting cat. No pun intended. Thank you. So Jaren is also kind of trying to figure out a little bit of what happened to his family, much like the big sort of red birthday party, aka red wedding-ish type thing that happened to Elsa's. That was a very similar thing that happened to mine. Different city, different place. So I came here to Baldur's Deep looking for clues, and I happen to have a contact.
Gate.
I did that one on purpose.
That was Watergate.
Oh, that's dope. I'm going to remember that. So I did come here looking for clues, and I did have a contact in the form of Peregrine Grin, Ghostwind, who we will get to shortly. But for the moment, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pass this on to one of the most incredible, charismatic players you have ever seen anywhere on any stream. It's phenomenal. He becomes the character to the point where you cannot pull the man and the cat apart. And let me tell you the lengths he goes. He is such a method actor. He is deathly. He has a horrendous, life-changing allergy to cats, and he became that character so much. He is a tabaxi, and he owns a cat, and he is allergic to cats to the point where he's almost ready to die when he's 3 feet away from you.
But he's no hats for cats.
Right now.
Immersing the
Ladies and gentlemen, back up. I don't think I have a better introduction to an imaginary character.
I play Thunder in the morning. Thunder is a Tabaxi paladin. He come from the place where the Tabaxi come from. It's an island. There's a tree there. And he got hooked on the moon sugar, the drug. He has a problem with the drug. They fried the brain a little, so the synapse don't fire correctly. So he tried to, not do the moon sugar, and he fight a lot for the underpin, for the bad people in Boulder Gate. That's where he ended up. He was the doggy barking. She's okay. I'm not allergic to dogs. So sometime in the morning, he fight for the underworld, and he had a problem with the moon sugar, and then the Elton family, they saved him, pulled him away from the moon sugar, and then they helped him Oh, puppy. So then they help him, and he become captain of the guard for them. And as the captain of the guard, he don't know what happened at the birthday party, but then everybody died. So he just tried to protect Elsa by go first. In everything, he go first. That's all. With that, I pass it over to the long, very thoughtful, very charismatic. No, the very thoughtful, dark elf, Rish.
Yes. So charismatic. Likes to stand around and judge people. I'm Marcus, and I play Riss, the Dark Elf. He's a rogue, strategist, historian, purveyor of art and people.
Did you say purveyor of art and people? Just wanted to make sure that I heard that correctly.
I was like, wait a minute. Ask me about my people.
Yeah.
My people. What do you mean, you people?
I told you about the charisma. It's a dark elf thing. So, anyways, I will pass it on.
Certainly pretty dark.
The Mordecai.
I am Joey Joe, and I play Mordecai, the tiefling magician, and I'm a team player.
He just plays for the other team.
Fun fact, I looked up a stat on tieflings. They actually get a bonus modifier to carry evil shields. So just throwing that out there. I'll pass it on to Peregrine. The Ghost Wind.
The Ghost Wind. I'm Greg, and I play Peregrine Ghostwind, otherwise known as Grin, human fighter, and carrier of evil shields, and keeper aware of people who should not be in contact with evil spirits. And that leaves last but certainly not least, Lucius Davalan.
Well, thank you so much, Grin. My name is, of course, Lucius Davalan. I am an elf of dubious descent who was abandoned on the streets of Kalimshan when just a wee babe. I was picked up from the streets and saved from a life of squalid, sordid. My vocabulary fails me. It would have been bad, and they gave me a life. I now act as counsel and herald. Thank you.
All right, and our half-orcish bard is yes to join the party. As soon as he gets in, though, we will definitely get an introduction from him as well. But
I have a question.
This
just dawned on me. Does this make Thunder Larry with his brother Daryl and Daryl?
No, that would be my name is Daryl with my other brother Daryl.
I'm just thinking. I've got a cat and two grandma. That sounds like Larry, Daryl, and Daryl.
I didn't talk about my cat.
At least Harry, Daryl, and Daryl.
But they're dropped. They don't have.
No, but you got them covered.
I'm fucking sneezing over this.
All right. So our characters, the last we had left them, they were going to have a meeting with a woman by the name of Liera Portier. She is a member in the Flaming Fist, which are. Let's see if I can bring up a.
I know Liera.
I've got a very good picture of her somewhere here.
In the biblical sense?
Here she is. So we'll show the players.
And as or Liara Portier, or as we like to refer to her, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jesus Christ!
Right? She's
Yeah.
a spot on Jamie Lee Curtis.
But I
100%.
know. But I
She
know.
eats yogurt every day. You know she does.
And Thunder. Yeah, Thunder. We know each other. She know the
A little
captain.
bit more Jamie.
Oh yeah, she is.
Only in-
spot on.
And dark blonde hair. The rest of it.
If you go
is-
from the chin up, that's totally Jamie Lee Curtis with blonde.
Oh my God, yeah.
I see the Jamie Lee.
Imagine red hair. Imagine if she had red hair.
Look
Imagine if she had the
look
face
up
of the
Jamie
woman
Lee
on
Curtis
Game of
True
Thrones.
Lies.
True Lies. That's what I was thinking.
So
Game
True
of
Lies.
Thrones.
No, True Lies.
Game of Thrones.
No.
Vetoed.
No, she's much more grounded.
Right.
This is why we have not
She's got
gotten
the
out of
other
the house.
way, but she's got the hair and the outfit. You guys are just looking at the face.
All right,
Don't
all of you
glad
failures
look
out
at their
there.
face.
So take a look at
Women
the,
always complain that we don't look
All
at
there
their
is
face.
armor aside from the face.
See, take a look at the portrait of Liara Portier there. Very handsome woman with her. Oh my God! I just realized she has a helm that looks like a cat.
I just saw that. Yeah.
Because
Just
and
saying.
But yes, you decide, critical failures, whether or not she is more
Jamie
Cersei
Lee.
Lannister or
Cersei
Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis.
True Lies, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Cersei Lannister.
Leona Headley.
Yeah, Cersei and Jamie Lannister, the twins.
That's not who I was thinking of.
She's
The
thinking
blonde?
Brianna Tarth.
Oh, you're thinking
Yeah.
Gwendolyn Christie. Oh, okay.
I totally
I'm
don't
like,
get that.
that's not-
She's
I
closer
see
to
what
Leanne
she's-
Headley.
I see what she's
She's
saying.
got the hair, she's got the
It's just 'cause
outfit.
it's the blonde strip
She's
with
got a
armor.
big haircut.
I mean, that's
Sexy
two-
and colorful.
That's 2/3 of the picture is the
I-
blonde hair and the armor.
All right.
Touche.
That is most of the picture.
Thank
Before we go
you.
too far into the weeds here, let's,
Which we already.
now, she is notable not only because she is a basically like a lieutenant or a captain in the Flaming Fist, but her uncle also happens to be Duke Gillard Portier, one of the four dukes of Baldur's Gate. The other three dukes being Alder Ravengard, who was in Elturel when the calamity struck, and he is missing and presumed dead. Thalmara Van Thampor, who our players managed to discover in her underground temple beneath the Van Thampor Manor, and they killed her and her cultist cohorts before they were able to try to do more mayhem and murder. And there is another. There are a couple other dukes, but those were the most important. So we have 3 out of the 4 dukes are accounted for, and one is missing, one is dead. And actually, in our last episode, when they went to meet with Liara Portier and her uncle, who was giving a big speech trying to get the people of Baldur's Gate to open up their hearts and their pocketbooks to try to donate to the Elturel Relief Fund for all of the refugees fleeing from the fall of Elturel. In the midst of his speech, a red streak came bulleting forth from the crowd, striking the Duke square in the chest. He took a couple steps backward, gasping for breath as the entire crowd gasped along with him. Then he exploded in a shower of gore and a waterfall of blood, literally devils ripping themselves out from his exploded torso. These devils then threw themselves at his guards, into the crowd. Mayhem erupted. There was a gigantic stampede as people were trying to get as far away as quickly as possible. Somebody in the crowd yelled that it was the Eltons. They said, "Oh, it's the Eltons. They've assassinated the Duke." Our characters then went and helped the bodyguard of the now deceased Duke Gillard Portier as they were fighting for their lives against the devils. The bodyguard at first believed that the characters were also responsible, but they saw how fervently and violently they were struggling with the devils alongside them, and realized that, oh, actually, I think that these guys might possibly be on our side. There was a lot of confusion, and then a second contingent of Flaming Fist came marching into the square, trying to restore order and screaming at the player characters to drop their weapons and surrender immediately to the authority of the Flaming Fist for the assassination of Duke Dillard Portier. Of course, our player characters wanted nothing to do with that. The Duke's daughter, Liera, was screaming at the player characters. She said, "Oh my God, there's nothing I can do for you. You have to get the fuck out of here." Literally screaming that, "Get the fuck out of here. There's nothing I can do. Go, go." And she was trying to shield away the crowd as they were stampeding towards the players. Our characters just barely managed to escape the wild mayhem. And that leads us to where we are now. It is 5 days since the coup resulting in the mass murder and almost complete annihilation of House Elton, which our lady Elsa Elton is the sole surviving family member, and then her entourage, including Captain of her guard, her advisors, and then also some retainers who had only been hired recently, including Peregrine Ghostwind and Jaren, and of course Alan playing our very lovable half orcish bard, Darius Toda. Now they are the surviving members. They thought that things were bad already, as it seemed as though House Van Thamper was trying to pin a recent string of murders, abductions, and burglaries on House Elton. And now it seems as though they have also been labeled as assassins, as the Duke has now been killed. It is 5 days past. The time is shortly before noon on a Friday. Our characters have fled the marketplace after dropping smoke bombs to cover their retreat, and then running through the crowd using other spells like Disguise Self to try to blend in as well and escape from the Flaming Fist guards, who obviously were allied with House of Van Thamper. Our captain of the guard managed to barely escape with the fur on his back by scrambling up the wall of the local building right here. And because he's a backseat, he can do that. He's got a natural climbing ability, and the Flaming Fists were unable to follow after him. Yeah.
I jump away.
He did everything you thought he was going to do.
Yeah, it was great. He's like, I'm fine. Wait, I've only got 7 hit points. What the hell happened? Like, yeah, they're beating on you. There's 4 of them.
I didn't realize they were attacking me like they did. So what I didn't say was I ran away.
But I do believe the entire party unanimously agreed that he would have done much better if he only had a shield.
If I had my shield, but more than I took my shield when they attacked me, my own player.
And so the inside joke there being, in the Van Thamper manor, the characters did find, he was the former High Overseer of Elturel, basically the Duke, Prime Minister, however you like to say it. And this guy, whose name escapes me at the moment.
It escaped him.
He was sitting there with this shield. And the shield it's this bronze shield that has like the face of a leering kind of demon carved into it. I can bring it up here. This one here. And it turns out that this shield has been, let's say, talking to the characters.
I would petition the DM to explain to the audience like what it means when you fail a wisdom saving throw and you have a sentient.
Well,
just throw that out there.
The mechanics are a little bit different in 5th edition. Some sentient items, if they are powerful enough, they can actually do control checks on whether or not that they can basically wrest control of player characters and force them to do actions, whether good or evil, depending upon what the alignment of the particular object is.
Is that why they took the shield from me?
Well, you could always ask, but it seems like that may have been an overriding concern.
The shield did not try to take control of me. It was very nice.
Oh no, it didn't have to. You gave it control. It can't. It doesn't have to take it from you if you give it to it.
Right.
The shield was very nice to me.
I'm sure it was a heck of a shield.
Just for those at home, my Tabaxi character, he's not very smart, nor very wise.
He is the captain of the guard.
But he somehow attained the rank of captain in the household guard of one of the major houses of Waterdeep. Baldur's Deep. Waterdeep.
Waterdeep. No, this is
Water is Baldur's Deep.
So you see, kids, never give up.
My character is pretty smart in the
importance and the historical significance of the shield. Talking about an ancient, devil, demonic being by the name of Gargaroth, who is also, according to history and lore, was one of the 9 lords of the 9 hells, who had been deposed, and so now he's known as like the 10th lord. He was formerly one of the lords, but he is not destroyed, as is usually the case, still existing, and this could possibly be his spirit or essence now entrapped in this field.
We got him.
Maybe. I believe both Jaren and possibly Riz or Lucius both made successful history checks and recognized
who's in the shield.
The importance of the shield.
He could be a very powerful ally. Just saying.
No one can wield it.
One does not simply walk into Baldur's Deep. Let's see. Now, one of the other things on our characters' itineraries was they've got an NPC they met, a guy by the name of. I've got names all over the place here. His name was it Alex Wren? No. It was. Well, he is a scribe at Candlekeep, and he works for a scholar there by the name of Silvira Silvakis. And yes, here it is. What is his name is Ballister Fisk.
Ballister.
He recognized the shield as well, saying that it fits all the descriptions of these tomes that he has read. all these tomes he's read, and he said, "Hey, if you want more information on this, and also on another particularly nefarious item that they have, this here puzzle box." Oh, the puzzle box. He said the person to talk to would be his patron, Severa Savakis, who is one of the leading scholars on the 9 Hells and the Bloodborne. She can be found at Candlekeep, and they said, yes, we will go there. The first thing we have to do is just go and meet with the Liera Portier and her uncle, and then Portier exploded, and Liera said, you have to get out of here. I can't protect you. And so now that brings us to the current moment. The characters have fled the immediate scene of the marketplace. Again,
most of the characters have fled the scene.
Strategic withdrawal.
And I'll say that lady actually, she could hold off that crowd perfectly well. I don't know what she was talking about. I can't defend you. She did a great job. Let's recruit her. Let's get her on the team.
Right. Yep. Get in the wagon. But that's where it leaves us right now. So it is a little bit before noon on a Friday. Obviously, as you are passing through the sort of alleyways and off streets nearest the marketplace here, the streets and the shops seem to be alive with just excitement and buzz as people who have fled the square are now relaying their tales to anyone and everyone as they're come running through and going, oh, what's happened? What's going on? And you'd never believe it. The Duke, he was in the middle of the square giving a speech when he exploded, and Damon came bursting out from him, and they attacked everyone, and they said the Eltons are to blame, and the Flaming Fist was there, and they luckily saved us all, but we ran for our lives. And our characters are now still in the midst of Baldur's Gate, but having had this particular calamity befall, it is up to them as far as where they would like to go next.
Do we know where that the lady is? She can help us.
Yes, she is in Candlekeep.
Oh, Candle.
Mm-hmm. Candlekeep
I
is.
thought we go there.
I think it's not too far.
Do we still have? Was this? Do we have horses held at the stables, city stables?
At the stables, yes, yes.
And a car.
Yes.
I think now would be a good time to utilize our mode of transportation and see the adjoining countryside.
Word. Is that seem to be the consensus of the group?
Word to that.
Yeah, I mean it's a little hot right now, and the person that we were coming to see to attempt to unsully our sullied name was executed, and there are people who believe that we are the ones who have performed the execution. So perhaps now is the time to let things settle off a bit here and see to this scribe and Candlekeep's information.
Yeah, if Grin hears any townspeople near him say, the Flaming Fist saved us from the demons, I'm going to say, are you sure? Are you quite sure it was the Flaming Fist who saved you from the demons?
People are like, oh yeah, the Flaming Fist, they came in and they were all steel and swords and stern words, and they started smiting those demons left and right. I barely escaped with my life. I probably would have been dead if it wasn't for them.
Mm-hmm.
Smiting. No, I
They're devils, not demons, you twit.
Lucius, I think that's wise counsel. We need to get out of the city as soon as we can. If we can collect Thunder and get him over to the cart. Are we separated from him, or did he make it back?
He made it back, yeah,
Okay.
due to Elsa having her ability to message.
Thank you. I think that's wise counsel. If we can maintain a very low profile and move straight to the stables, I think that would be our best course. Unless anybody has left something somewhere that we need to get, I think we should put it immediately outside the walls of the city.
I will look at Elsa and Morty, and I'll say, is there anything you can do to disguise perhaps those among us who are very unique, shall we say, in profile? Perhaps the cat, maybe Jaren, maybe even Riss. I can handle myself. I don't know if there's anything you can do to try to obfuscate our.
Yeah, I've got me and I've got Elsa covered.
Good enough.
That's all I can do. That's as far as I can extend my concentration.
It will have to do.
I have connections that can help me get out of the city in need, but I think we're a bit in a foot race at this point. Am I wrong?
I do not doubt you, sir. I just was hoping to avoid any observers, good citizenry in reporting what they've seen to the local authorities.
Good job.
But alas, we must take that chance.
So I can't remember the last time. I believe Mordecai had cast the disguise self and twinned the spell so that he had both he disguised himself and
Yes, Lady Elsa looks like a peasant farmer, and I look like a lovely damsel wearing a blue flowered dress. Yes.
Nice. And if you look at where we are here on the map, so we are in the Wide, in the upper city. The Wide is being the main marketplace area. So you're very close to Heathgate and Baldur's Gate, and you need to make your way over to this area. Garen Moore Stables and Menagerie. That is where your horses and your wagon are currently stowed. You get there going through the Basilisk Gate, but then you also have to go through from the upper city to the lower city, or alternatively, you could leave through the Black Dragon Gate, which is over here, out towards the Blackgate area, and then traverse yourself along the outside of the wall, which I would say normally would probably look like a bit of a suspicious thing, that you would leave the city and then just be walking along the edge of the wall. However, given the current state of affairs and the situation with refugees basically setting up shanty towns all up and down the walls, that is probably something that would not draw attention like it would were it not for the refugee crisis.
Black Dragon is closer at the moment.
Yeah. It's basically you'd have to go through the Black Dragon Gate, then through the small outskirts of Blackgate and make your way around, or you could try going through the upper city gate of either Heathgate or Baldur's Gate, then through the lower city and through the Basilisk Gate.
Can we just go where we want to go? We can. We don't need directions. I guess does anybody know the direction of Candlekeep, like from?
Aren't we going to
That's in lower city.
Candlekeep itself.
No, I mean, like, what is that? Like our next step? Is that where we're moving?
Oh, I think we're gonna get the horses first.
No, I know, but like once we get the horses, which direction we have to go?
Then you're going to be going south, basically. So you're going to have to go through Worthing's Crossing, which is over here.
Black Dragon sounds like the best bet. We can move straight.
Oh wow.
It's going to be a pretty circuitous route. I think a straighter shot it would be going through the lower city.
Wouldn't they expect that?
But it's again, you're going to be availing yourself to probably fewer eyes if you go through the Black Dragon Gate. Although you know that any of the gates are guarded, and
I personally think getting out of the city is our best option, even if it takes us a little bit longer to travel to our next destination. But that's my opinion.
Main Street it is.
Black Dragon Gate. Strolling down the main street saying, "We killed the Duke and we'll kill again. Get the fuck out of our way."
I would not say that. I have learned, but I'm just saying leaving the city quickly, and I assume we're walking while we're talking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our next destination is Candlekeep, right?
That is correct.
So that's it's like like 70 some miles away.
I'm sorry.
Candlekeep, isn't that like 70 some miles away?
Candlekeep is
like 2-3 days ride.
So yeah, it's going to be a few days journey.
Yeah, I just think,
which is why
my only comment with this is I think if we get out of the city fast, we have options, even if it takes a little bit longer out. And candidly, if we move to the west, we could find another way across the river. But either way, I recommend we get out of the walls before we're pinned here.
I second that. I think discretion is the better part of valor in this scenario.
Well,
as the bald captain says, make it so.
Least said, soonest mended, shall we?
All right. So you are heading towards Black Dragon Gate, yeah? Which is the the most fastest way out of the Secret Baldur's Gate itself. So let's do this. Now you managed to make your way through the wide, the marketplace again. It looks like people are gathered around in small groups, exchanging gossip, and already you can tell some of it seems accurate and some of it is completely far-fetched. You hear, somebody, some woman exclaiming, "Oh no, I was there. I saw that Elton. She was there. She went up and she stabbed the Duke straight in the heart with a blade made from I think it was the penis of a devil. It was crude and horrible."
I'm gonna along with Darius, like we're gonna write a quick little ditty about how like the way we see events occurring differently. Like the House Elton actually saved the day. Like that. If it hadn't been for them, the fist would have fallen. There would have been the fallen fist, and we'll make some play off of that. If I can get a performance roll, that would be awesome. Can I have one?
For who the fist of the fallen?
No, I want to make a performance check to sing a song about, how House Elton was actually the ones that saved the day during that conflict, and that if it hadn't been for their, handy arrival, the fist would have fallen that day.
The flaming fist ran away.
They bravely ran away.
Bravely ran away, they did.
They had House Elton turned and bravely fled.
And then I'll use inspiration.
Hey, I was like, wait, and I will. I was gonna. Well, and actually, you don't have to use inspiration. Because if you and Darius are working together,
that's right.
A person assisting you basically gives you advantage.
Awesome. Well, I helped him write it, and I'm playing music, and he's singing.
You're like Elton John and Bernie Taupin.
That's exactly right. There couldn't have been a more accurate comparison.
Hilton? I was like, wait, what is this horrific?
Just go with it.
Yeah. All right.
We had a tavern or something?
Yeah, I believe you.
Just walking. We're just walking here.
And knowing that, to draw too much attention would probably not be to the benefit of the party. You start out sort of just humming a tune. Darius picks it up and he starts whistling and kind of snapping his fingers to it. And you just start with like a little acapella singing back and forth about what really happened at the statue of the beloved ranger this day. And you do notice that, a lot of the commoners, they start stopping and they're like, and you see them going, "Oh, really? Wait, is that what really happened? Were you there? Is that what really happened? Did House Elton really stop the devils?"
Like the heroes of old they did. Back from the brink of destruction to save the day for not just themselves, but for all of Baldur's Deep.
It's so ingrained now that will never go away. I think they just need to read
never go away.
I can see Grin die every time we say that. Baldur's Deep? Are we playing Balls Deep?
Balls Deep. Yeah, you do see your performance definitely has people stopping their talking, and you see somebody say, "Well, I heard it was different," and then somebody else is like, "Oh, shut up! They were there. They saw it. They know." So like, it seems like at least for those people who are listening to your performance, it's definitely having a very positive effect.
Yeah, and like when I'm singing, I'll use prestidigitation to like when they bravely ran in and chopped off its head. There'll be like swords ringing off each other in the background, like mixed throughout the audience, stuff like that.
Make an explosion, and oh crap, maybe this is not the intention.
But that's
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have done that. That's a better idea not to do that.
To the performance, people have stopped talking, at least on your way out to see the people that were spreading false misinformation, or at least not the information you wanted to spread, are now starting to say, oh no, I like they were there, they saw it. Listen to the song, House Elton saved the day. If it wasn't for House Elton, the entire upper city would have fallen.
Then good enough, and then we'll kind of duck out for our horses.
And you do manage to make your way to the Black Dragon Gate without any sort of run-ins with.
It was like that Blues Brothers concert where the Blues Brothers sneak out halfway through away from
the cops are chasing
the rednecks.
At the Black Dragon Gate. Let's see. Yeah.
For what it's worth, my disguise only lasts for an hour.
Yeah, it's not going to take you that long to get to the Black Dragon Gate. The distance is it's quarter of a mile, if that. Yeah, so I mean, we're talking it's like a 10-minute walk to the Black Dragon Gate. Black Dragon Gate is situated very, very close to the Wide, and there's actually a very good reason for that, as most of the merchants that come to sell their goods to the upper city go directly through the Black Dragon Gate into the Wide. It's a straight shot through. They basically need to have as few obstacles in the way to make sure they can get their goods to the marketplace as quickly and unobstructedly as possible. So you make your way to the Black Dragon Gate. And at the Black Dragon Gate, we have...
Dum dum dum.
Oh, sorry. The Duke that I could never remember is Duke Belin Stellmain. And sorry, this is I kept on saying here. Well, as soon as I find her, I will let you know. Duke Belin Stellmain, once a vigorous and formidable politician, Duke Belin Stellmain recently suffered a seizure that left her with a partially paralyzed face and slowed speech. So she has taken basically a back seat to a lot of the more public appearances that the Dukes tend to go to. It was something that it seemed like they wanted, like the government wanted to try to downplay or hide this as much as possible, but in true fashion, the Baldur's Gate Mouth, which is the local paper, sniffed out the story, and they definitely published it about her seizures and whether or not she would be fit to still be a Duke of Baldur's Gate. So she is possibly a lame duck, leaving basically the entire leadership of Baldur's Gate now in the lurch.
In the what?
You make your way to the Black Dragon. Sorry?
You said in the what? The lurch?
In the lurch. Yes.
Okay.
Being that Alder Ravengard is the missing, presumed dead, Thalmar Van Vampor is dead, and Duke Gillard Portier is dead. So you have the lone known surviving member of the four Dukes of Baldur's Gate,
like fresh out of France.
Yes, is recently possibly had suffered from a stroke and has been taking a backseat in the political avenues. So.
Perfect.
So there's multiple vacuums to be filled.
That's right. We have the mass, anyways.
All holes filled.
Going airtight on this government, bitch.
All right then. We traversed our way through the.
We got to where we're going now.
You get yourselves to the Black Dragon Gate, and the Black Dragon Gate is named for where once a dragon's head, the victorious knight, hung from its arch. The Black Dragon Gate faces the road heading north towards distant Waterdeep. The original dragon's head is long gone, but a stone replacement snarls above the gate's arch. Local legend claims that the stone head will magically spew acid at attackers if the city should ever fall under siege. Now, while the stone dragon head is not spewing acid, you can see that the Black Dragon Gate is manned with dozens of members of the Flaming Fist. This does not look at all out of the ordinary for the past 5 days, ever since the fall of Elturel. They have been trying to deal with the massive amount of refugees that have come from the fallen city. But there are you do see a small band. It is they look to be traveling performers, and they are at the gate, and they are playing to a number of the Flaming Fist. Seems like word has already spread here, and they are playing a song talking about how the Flaming Fist have saved the day in the statue of the beloved Ranger, and they are saying, "Oh, had it not been for the bravery of the Flaming Fist, all would have gone amiss, but they charged in with their swords held high and knocked the horrible Elsa denied." For House Elton was, they go on as far as, again, implicating House Elton.
These are the bards?
Yeah.
Where are they singing?
Minstrels right outside the Black Dragon Gate. And there are.
Kill him? Should we kill him?
I think we should kill him. Just a couple of poison blow darts right to the throat in the middle of the song, no big deal. Let's go loud.
You want to talk shit?
Flaming Fist. All of this would have gone up.
Okay, well, we might have a problem. Just saying.
I'm gonna poke Darius to go like somewhere else other than right next to us, and then start using vicious mockery on them.
Use prestidigitation to make them really quiet.
Yes. Oh wait.
Or
Riz, do you have access to silence by chance?
I don't.
Just it was a shot in the dark.
You should say something different than what they actually say. Ventriloquism? You have ventriloquism?
I would like to point out while this is happening, Darren is walking this route straight to the stables, and I'm humming the tune that the bards near the Flaming Fist are singing. And if I need to pass an acting role,
the guards seem to be very much preoccupied with the minstrels singing their praises.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually seems as though as you walk by, you kind of stop for a minute, as they usually will start questioning, who goes there, what's happening, and you walk up to a guard, and he looks at you for a second. He just kind of looks at you and he's like, and he just kind of like rushes you by, like, okay, yeah, whatever. I want to listen to the song. Like,
no, hold on a second. We came here for a good argument.
They lie. Where you get the information?
Where'd you get your information
Let's not look a gift horse in the mouth. Let's just leave.
Let's just come on, tell him something. Oh yeah, hey. I'll get my flute out and kind of with them,
All right. You're gonna go right along with it.
Oh yeah.
Is anybody offering any sort of dissent? Is anybody?
No, but I am not happy. I'm down to like 7 hit points. So.
The cat is unhappy.
I'm like,
Isn't that like a normal disposition for a cat?
Yeah.
Wait, I will not argue the point. I will not deny. But I will say, he's not happy.
It's all good.
He's going to lay down.
Just think of the songs that you could sing after we've sorted this out.
I don't sing songs.
Yes, you yodel, but I acknowledge.
Winter set in, and we were forced to eat the Flaming Fists minstrels.
Do not eat the NPCs. NPCs are not food.
The flaming fist minstrels aren't characters.
Yeah, they aren't NPCs. They're just amorphous, ethereal figures.
Yeah, they are non-player.
Stairs.
Cat. Damn it.
We're literally about to watch. Let me make a Constitution saving throw.
Damn it.
Hey, what's up? Hey, how are you?
Someone help that poor cat.
Sorry about it. Like, where'd she go? Where'd she go? I went to go get a drink of water, and then
Put the cat on Matt.
Put the cat on Matt.
You're supposed to have the cat on his shoulder as a dude.
Yes, yes. And for any of you who are just joining us, we have several of our contingent in one room tonight, and so pardon some of the sound quality if it's not up to our usual standard. But well worth it so that everybody can be in the same room.
Well, mostly everyone.
Yep. See how Elsa just teleported from room to room to room? Look at that.
Boom.
it's
like-
magic.
She was at Matt's house.
It's a lot like
She was at
sorcery.
Mark's house.
I don't even know if I got on.
As a matter of fact, it's exactly like sorcery.
Sorcery.
But
Are we going to take a long rest? That's what we need to do.
You
Are
can,
you talking about
once
a
we
real
get
life
you
or
into the cart, you can sleep all you want.
Okay, you can
It'll
get
be
me into
great.
Is there a carriage?
We've got a wagon.
Cart.
Is it
It's got horses in front of it.
We're gonna get to Oregon Trail that stuff, Matt.
shut up, not just the horses.
Yeah.
Where are we right now? We're on
Riss
the
has
outside.
died of dysentery.
I like that.
Not the first time.
Which is too bad since he's the only one who knows how to go where we're going.
So now you have made your way outside Black Dragon Gate. Again, it seems like they are being much more lax, especially given the current circumstances of what happened in the marketplace, as most of the guards are completely preoccupied, cheering, hooting and hollering as this group, this is about a half a dozen of these minstrels on various instruments and singing with musical accompaniment. A very catchy tune that has most of the guards completely preoccupied.
I would like to try to use prestidigitation to give a little untuning of a string here or a breaking of a mouthpiece there. Just you know what I mean? At like the most inopportune moments. I'm just gonna like break a small piece of an instrument or
I would like to point out that Thunder is being surprisingly calm, and all the other motherfuckers trying to start shit.
Like, wait a minute, there's other bards that are trying to do shit. This is the hill we die on.
No, Jaren, I fed him a very large quantity of narcotic drugs to ensure that his docility was maximized.
Hey, look, I'm good. If we want to throw down, I got 2 smites left. Let's do it.
I got 2 smites and as many hit points. Let's roll.
2 divine smites and a microphone. Where it's at.
Anyone who is not disguised, give me either a deception check or a stealth check, and I'm going to give you advantage due to the distracted nature of the guards.
And what were those 2 checks? Stealth or what?
Deception.
And I get an advantage?
And Mordecai are disguised, so they are good.
I'm good.
Yes, never mind the rather large gentleman with the very ornate, serious armor.
Ooh.
Never
Chris
mind
is all
that.
about it.
Nor the two drow that are accompanying him. We are not the droids you seek.
Where did Riss go?
Oh, he's
gone.
stealth. Oh, okay. There is no dark elf.
There was never any risk.
Everybody's lost the beat. Let's see.
Riss even told me where he was going to go, and I still can't find him.
I can hear him speaking to me now, and I cannot see him. And
Bryn,
I am
as
looking.
you're watching, you see Lucius, Jaren, and you don't even see Riz. You have no idea where Riz went. But when you see Lucius and Jaren both very nonchalantly, casually, just kind of nod to the guards and walk by. The guard kind of looks, and then he looks at you and looks back, and he looks at you again, and he holds up his hand and puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, wait 1 minute, sir. What sort of purpose do you have? Why are you going up the Black Dragon Gate, sir? Gates are shut both ways. Nobody in, nobody else.
So before I answer, I kind of glance around just to see what does it look like? Are there a lot of people? There's refugees, a lot of refugees, right?
Yes.
Tons. And does it look like the guards are busy dealing with that?
Outside, and you can hear them through the gate. You know, they've basically got like a portcullis, and then like big doors. The doors are open to let the breeze through, but the portcullis is shut, and so people are like, "Let us in. We're hungry. All we want is to get some shelter and some food." And so the guards are like, yeah, whatever. Back up.
I will make a loud bang come from over in the corridor, some commotion sound that might potentially distract the guard with prestidigitation.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Inside, it's mainly Flaming Fist guards. There's a couple merchants you can see who are, it looks like they probably got to the city a little bit late. Now it's probably approaching noon, so it's just a little bit later in the day to actually be going to the marketplace. But you see there's a couple merchants with larger wagons being pulled by oxen, and it looks like they're getting the oxen set to go back to the stables and trying to load their goods onto hand carts and wheelbarrows to take into the marketplace. So there's some activity, but most of it seems to be inside the gate, confined to the Flaming Fist and then the minstrels.
How far away am I from the door, the nearest door?
You're like right next to the portcullis, and there actually is a door in the portcullis. There is a jail cell door, and that's the door that you saw Jaren and Lucius is very nonchalantly walk through. It's
Okay,
like the door.
For my as soon as the guard starts questioning me, I'm just gonna bolt. I'm gonna bolt and make the way for the door.
Well, you see, the thing is,
look, a distraction.
Well, Mordecai did make a big bang happen right at the same time.
Yeah, as soon as he turns his head to look, Grin's gone.
I'm gonna say he's gonna, as soon as you bolt, he's gonna try to grab for you. So I'm gonna have you do an opposed grapple check, but I'm gonna give you a
disadvantage. Yeah.
Either athletics or acrobatics check at advantage versus his strength check.
All right.
I'm seeing the meme of the chubby girl in the yellow jacket running away.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 second. Happens every night around.
One away from a critical success.
But hey,
and
managing.
Oh my God, Matt, are you sure you're okay, man? You don't have ever brought on plates of meat? Like, where's your 6 plates of meat, dude?
see, I can post some pictures of the meat that I ate.
No, I mean like normally you're still eating at this time. Like you just like got plates of food that you constantly have coming to you.
Funny here. I'm like time to go down. I'm starting to pass out.
Oh, that's right. This is so much later for you at this time
Dude,
than
this
you
is
normally
hard.
are at this time for us.
Courtney was like, I don't know, are you gonna be able to make it? I'm like,
So Grin,
she's already giving me coffee.
Bolt, the guard grabs a hold of your cloak, but you manage to like quick do a complete 360 and yank it out of his hand and go flying through the door. And he's like, hey, stop, fucking refugee scum, fuck. And you hear him yelling, and you know, you make your way through the crowd without any further harassment. What he does, he's like, hello, I'm the god. How are the gods gone? Oh yeah. Well, yeah, because and then I rolled for the guard. You got a 19. Yeah. So I was like, whoa, that could have gotten gnarly really quickly.
Yeah, I was
everybody
moving
else
around to flank him though, so if he had succeeded, I was just gonna stuff my dagger in his armpit of the arm that he had reached out to grab the cloak with.
Right. Oh, this guard got really sleepy here. I'm tired. Yes. You all make it out of the gate unmolested by any of the gods. You now outside the gate, of course, it is a much different scenario as inside the gate, as a small tent city has sprung up within the last few days of all Elturel refugees. They have been making shelters and houses and shanties out of whatever's available. So you have literally some people have managed to find some cast off wood, like 2x4s, and make like a pretty decent like lean-to. And other people literally just have like a stick stuck in the ground with a blanket propped over it for shade from the sun, the rain, and the elements. Most of the people look tired. They look emaciated. It is a very sorry lot. Outside this gate, there's probably somewhere between 300 plus refugees, and most of them are kind of cram-packed as close to the gate as they can get. It spreads out down the Black Dragon Gate Road. And the further you get, as most of the people are trying to get as close to the gates as possible.
We get a sense of if you see any Flaming Fist or other official-looking parties that are outside of the walls. Like what do their numbers look like?
Outside of the wall, right now, it looks like you don't see any Flaming Fists outside of the wall. You did see them when you were outside Basilisk Gate, but it seemed like their numbers were very, very few and far between. As most of the Flaming Fists now have been consolidated around the gates in a trying to make sure that most of the refugees stay on the outside, and so patrols on the outside are much more rare now than the past, which being that characters who have any sort of connection with underworld thieves, anything like that, this is a absolute opportune moment for any sort of thieves guild, anything like that. As you've got this massive humanity that people carrying whatever possessions they have, and now they are just right for the picture.
I will change my posture a bit, where I've moved my cloak where it's very obvious there's a large person with man armor like moving. I don't have the cloak pulled all the way off my face, but it's very clear that I'm also scanning intently for any pickpockets or folks that are starting to ID us or look at us, paying too much attention.
Right. So you're not going to be a mark.
I'm definitely trying to put forth an air of choose wisely.
Yeah, we will most certainly be marks. However, we will be a tough pill to swallow for sure. I mean, the people that will be watching us are those that think themselves our equal in combat, and those are not any of these. So these are the eyes for those who will eventually want us. These poor SOBs are just trying to watch us.
I'm not sure what
I'm not even a rogue anymore. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's being stupid now. I'm sorry.
I am gonna strut on through.
You're
gonna do what?
Yeah, we're just like riding through the outskirts of town, right?
I think we're still on the way to we're just like walking right towards Gilmore Stables, right?
Oh, so we haven't gotten.
No. That's why I keep saying we should get the horse
Where are the horses?
right here.
Oh,
We're
gosh,
prob-
we're going
we're-
up. And then when
we're-
we're trying to go to the other place, which is where?
Where are we?
No.
I'm in-
Okay, so we're
right
if you
outside
look
of
at
Black-
the words where it says Black Dragon Gate. We're
Going
probably
12 to 3. 12 to 3.
we are trying to get desperately about 2 blocks to the northwest.
The stables. Okay, there's
Yeah.
the stables. And then after that, we're gonna go try to
After
get the
that,
box
we can
figured out.
entertain any amount of ridiculousness, but we need to get on these horses and move.
There's the Black Gate. Is that the Black Dragon Gate or just the
Yes.
Black Gate?
Black Dragon.
Okay, where are the stables?
I'm envisioning young guns traveling through the Indian village.
Any of you assholes see the size of that chicken?
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Why ain't they killing us?
We're in spirit world, you asshole that can't see us.
Everybody. Like everybody. All party members. Because Thunder is hurt. He's down to like 7 hit points. I need to take him now.
I'll be Lieutenant Phillips.
Want your knife back?
Now the place where your stables are actually on the opposite side. So there's 2 Garenmore stables, and you came into the Black Gate, but then
One we want on the west side. God damn it.
your stables are over here.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So you have to walk along the northern edge of the water. It's about a mile.
But you said earlier that the stables would either provide transportation
Or they
would
can ferry.
bring their shit to you.
If you would like, you can have them bring your horses and your wagon to you. Excuse me.
Does
However,
that require like communication.
yes, that means that you have to tell them. They would send a runner. The runner would go. Then they would have
Oh, to the other
to
stables.
the other stables.
Could we wait? Could we go to the first stables and catch a ride with the runner to the other stables?
Probably not, because even if he does have a horse to take him to the other stable for expediency issues, probably just gonna have one horse. And there's
Could we sweet talk our way into
75 of
like
Yeah, I was
one
gonna
of
say,
us
can you
taking
wanna
another
be,
horse with us? Like sending one of us to go get.
Well, I was thinking actually perhaps like Chris or Lucius, since you know the area better than I think most of us. If they have a cart and they're willing to take a gold or 2, we could just Uber to the other stable,
so to speak. Uber.
or take a lift, if you will. Would that be a safe option? As I look at the party, I don't know this area, but I know what it means to be hunted and to hunt.
Yeah.
So
Do they have rickshaws running around at all? We'll just hire like a whole fleet of rickshaws. Just have, you know, we'll have them go in all sorts of different directions all the time to throw off. Anyways,
I'm down for that.
it's just an idea.
Get in a rickshaw with a guy pulled a rickshaw. Put him up with a
I don't know, like, is it like, so I don't understand. Are we not just able to? Are we too far away from our to get our horses?
1 mile. It's only 10-minute walk.
Is there any reason why we wouldn't just want to walk it?
We can walk it. I'm fine with it.
When I run, I'm like.
We can run a mile, but we could jog it and we can walk it in about 15.
You're injured.
Who's injured?
I move it faster than normal people.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're all injured.
Yeah,
We are a bleeding rat.
I'm gonna pull out my flute and play the Song of Rest while we're walking. And
You know what I'm gonna do? Put my hands on myself.
are we?
You know how that goes.
Lucius, are we walking towards the appropriate stable?
I assume so. I don't really. Dungeon Master, is there an appropriate? Oh, he's not listening.
I'm gonna be laying hands on myself.
Yeah,
I can do that.
Isn't that right? Oh, yeah, that's a lot.
I can lay on hands.
But that's only a
Oh,
mile.
yeah,
I would.
yeah,
that
you-
was a lot.
I think it's up to your total number of
Disabled. Okay.
hit points. I can't remember.
It's 500 paladin level.
There you go.
So if you're level
I'm a level
4 power,
do it.
times 5 is
20.
that's what you get.
I can't do 20 hit
I
points.
can't do 20 hit point. I'm going to raise my hit point back up because I have to.
Okay.
So when
we'll
you
cover
guys,
that.
hey, if anybody uses their hit dice for regaining hit points back after our short rest,
Wait, we're taking a short rest?
well, that's just I figure we're walking somewhere, aren't we?
I don't know.
Yeah, just can't be strenuous, right?
So we're good. I'm back up 20 hit point with my.
So Dungeon Master, is there any reason why we wouldn't want to walk it? Is there some sort of threat that I'm unaware of? Like, are there people that are on guard here?
I would say, yeah, like under normal circumstances, you might be attracting attention from any, flaming fist guards on the wall. You'd be like, how are you doing?
These people walking down.
What, like they would probably see you and be like, who are you? What are you doing? How come you're not going to one of the gates? What are you doing walking up? But again, there's so many refugees just, going back and forth that again, it's you guys can pretty easily blend into the
I didn't realize it was
traffic.
only a mile. to the-
Yeah, just a mile, yeah.
So like in that time, am I gonna be more, am I too worried? Am I on guard, or can I, pull out my flute and play the Song of Rest while we're just walking to our destination?
You can, I think so, right?
Does that mean people around us start passing out?
No,
No.
it's
The song.
it's for a short rest.
Yeah, if we're walking for 10, 15 minutes, isn't that or it's got to be an hour or so, I guess. But
Yeah,
so maybe that might not be long enough. I'll play it anyhow, and if we don't get the benefit, we don't get the benefit.
It says, short rest, period of downtime lasting at least 1 hour. So yeah, if you meander, an hour to walk a mile is certainly a slow pace, but
Well, no, I mean, I will be in anticipation that we may have to, that it may take more than an hour or whatever. I will play the Song of Rest. If we get the benefit at the end of it, great. If not, it doesn't matter.
If you would like to stretch it out to make that mile walk last an hour, and again, just taking your time, at a very, very casual pace, I will let you do that, and everyone can take a short rest.
Okay, perfect. Yes, let's do that. I say yes.
Resources that are refreshed by taking a short rest, and you're allowed to expend one of your accumulated hit die by rolling a die in the corresponding type. You gain hit points equal to the roll value plus your Constitution modifier. And afterwards, spend another hit die.
Yep,
So
and
you can
then
spend
any friendly creatures who can hear my performance can add a 1d6 roll to their expended hit dice amount.
Nice.
So where's the hit die?
So you get as many hit die as your level. So everybody's at level 4, so that means you have 4 hit die.
Okay.
So anytime you take a short rest, you can expend as many hit die as you would like.
Are those D6s?
They're going to be whatever you
Each class is different, yeah.
10 or 12. It's a D10.
many-
I think
how many
barbarians
is
is a 12. How many is a D?
I'm gonna use a D20. So I can do 4D10.
Yeah, but you roll them one at a time because then you get to roll a D10 and then add 4. So you could get 14 and another 4. So
Gotcha.
if you max out, you don't want to say, I'm going to roll all 4. And now, okay, I got back 60 hit points. And but I maxed
Yeah,
out.
but I roll
Okay, well, then you get to add a D6 to that.
Yep, so roll another d6 and add that number to your 1 hit point.
I rolled another. So just so you know,
Ah,
Thunder is rolling well tonight because I rolled 2 natural ones.
I had 3 extra. Could I just give him my 3 that I didn't need?
Oh my God, Thunder! Yeah, so you got 2 hit points on your first hit die. You have 3 more.
Well, I've already laid on hands and picked up 20, so I'm only down 6.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and you.
I've got
could
3
spend-
more. I could spend them. Can I save them?
Yeah, you can save them. Yeah, you can save them. You can spend
Can
them.
I use them anytime I want?
No, you can only use them in certain circumstances. This being one of them.
And you gain all of your hit die back after a long rest.
Well, our long rest takes 6 months.
That's well, I'm like, hey,
but I can't use them when I want.
During any you like can't
I
use them in the middle of
I hear what
combat.
you're saying. I disagree.
Ooh,
I hear what you're saying. I just disagree.
If you're a straight fighter, fighters can
But I don't
do they can take the second wind.
So do I need to roll stuff? Like, I didn't know, how did I get down to 9?
I'll do
Did I
that.
not reset it when I got the
There's my 10. There's my 10.
I think you might have got
There you go. Boom.
trampled by the crowd.
Oh,
Thank you.
so do I roll? Can I roll?
Mhm. Yep.
What do I roll?
Yeah, so you are going to roll. You are a sorcerer. Your hit die type. You can actually just. Oops, sorry. Yeah, you can just roll on your hit die. It's D6.
So wait, can I usually roll it?
Yeah. You bet. So 6. Nope, that's an 8. Nope, that's a 4. A 6 is a regular die. It's a square. A cube. There you go.
Take the dice. Wait, what am I doing? How many of these?
Well, roll 1 to start. So you get 3. Now roll it again, and then that's from Dave Jacks. Ooh, 6. So you got 9 hit points back. So now you're at 18. Mm-hmm. And then subtract 1 from your hit die. Mm-hmm. So now you need 8 more hit points. So I'd say, yeah, roll another one. And that's a 1, and roll another one for Dave Jacks' Song of Wrath.
1.
So you get 2. So now you're up to 20.
So this is pretty consistent.
Yeah, and then subtract 1 more from your hit die, so you get 2. And now you're 6 down. So if you want to get back up to full, which why not? You might as well.
How do you get to roll all this?
1 and roll another one.
They are total.
2. So now you're at 23,
I just don't know.
and you're only 3 points shy.
Go down
1.
to one of those?
Yeah.
So if you roll over, do you lose them?
Yeah. You can't get more than your max. So like if the next time you roll a 6 and a 6, you still only gain your max. But
So hold.
yeah, I probably would at that point. You're only down 3.
That's when you say hold, priest.
Hold.
I got to roll that.
And has everyone done their rolling for their hit points and hit die? Then that gets us to the Darren Moore Stables and Menagerie outside of Stony Eyes. Again, you reach this area, there is the overwhelming smell of hay, manure, animal smells. It is a very, very large barn and stables. Again, nothing you're unused to. Possibly, Elsa, you might be holding a hanky to your nose as the smell is a little bit overwhelming. All of your companions don't seem to be very bothered by it. You get there, and one of the people that tends the animals comes up to you and he says, "Oh, hello. How can I help you today?"
You say, hello there. How can I help you?
Says, well, he says, "Do you have
You have your chip.
I believe we have a writ. Is that not correct?
Do you have a horse? Do you have a cow? Perhaps a donkey, a mule, oxen? What can I do for you?"
Horses in a wagon.
Yes, I believe we've got the slip here. Yes, I believe this is it.
He is. You see him asking as far as whose name it's under. You give him the name that you had.
Wasn't it
under?
Yeah. Originally, we had a writ from Amric Van Thamper to requisition the horses from his stable, but then we went to a different stable and we transferred them, I guess. I'm not sure how. We told them who they were supposed to go to and that the ownership would be transferred then. So I don't know if we got a new writ or the same one with a note on it from the quartermaster or whatever.
He takes it and he looks and he's like, "Oh yes, very well. I shall have all of your animals to you very soon. Please wait for us outside the stable here, and I shall have them to you directly." Takes about maybe 15 to 20 minutes for them to gather up all the animals and hitch up the wagon. And he comes outside with all of your animals, which I believe there were four riding horses, two
Draft horses?
Draft,
horses,
yeah, yeah, pulling, yeah.
draft horses. I got you.
We got them from
From the Van Damper Manor.
We took them from the manor.
Yeah, yeah.
When
we
we killed
Right in the
everybody.
Yeah. This was months ago. I mean, it was hours ago for Elsa, but it was months ago.
Riss, if I may have a word, normally I would volunteer my services as a lead or a point for some sort of mission like this in the city, but when we travel out in the wilds, it is not my forte.
No.
Should we find someone, once we are out on the road, who knows how to do this better? Are you any good at it, sir?
You're asking
What's that?
as far as like a guide, you say?
Yeah, like I'm asking, like somebody who can use survival skill.
I've never ridden a horse before.
I know something of nature
I only
and
dog paddle.
survival.
I can see Mordecai just like grabbing around the horse's neck and being like, "Am I doing it? That's the right way to do it."
Can I ride in the wagon, please?
I look over at Jaren and Grin.
Grin says, I'm far more adept at sea. If we were on a ship, I would gladly volunteer to captain
Of course. Of course.
I look at Darius though. Darius, you travel from town to town. You know these roads very well, don't you?
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm much more familiar with the roads to and from Waterdeep. Again, I've only been here in Baldur's Gate for, I mean, it hasn't even been a week's time. So, and I actually came from the Black Dragon Road, which leads north up to Waterdeep. So, this is Southern Road. I've heard about it. I've heard some other bards tell tales, but no, I've never actually traveled down that road.
I don't remember. I don't remember if I've traveled this road. It doesn't look very familiar, but I could be forgetting it.
You definitely know. I mean, yeah, I would say you know that the outer city, because so up ahead over the Chianthar River, there's Worms Crossing, which is a large bridge that goes over the river, and then there's little settlements on each side. One's called Twin Songs, the other is Rivington. Both great places to party. You have tied one on there in the past, because again, usually other times when you've gone to Baldur's Gate, you don't spend a whole lot of time in the city itself. You would sell what you would need to sell, and then you would get the fuck out of the city as fast as you can, and get to where your people are, which is more of the outer city type people, where laws are a little bit more relaxed. The beer is certainly cheaper, and so are the women, and that is going to be the road that you're going to be traveling on. So yeah, you would know Twin Songs, Rivington, the Worms Crossing pretty well. Now, as far as Candlekeep goes, which is going to be much further to the south, yeah, you've never been to Candlekeep, because that again is a place for scholars. And although you know how to read, you can write your name. It's not it's not a place you've ever been to. So.
Yeah, my guess is Grin, he really knows like the major shipping cities, like the port cities. He knows really, really well. But anything inland and anything that's not like a major shipping city, he doesn't know very well.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, you would definitely know. Yeah, Twin Songs and Rivington. There. Who put Jamie Lee Curtis on there? They are definitely.
We absolutely.
Yes. So you guys will. Who would like to ride in the wagon, and who wants to be
Wagon.
Wagon. Okay. And who wanna ride on the horses?
I'm not getting on one of those things.
Grin will do a horse.
Yeah, I'll ride a horse.
Likewise.
I won't do a horse. I might eat a horse.
So we got Jaren, Grin, and Riz are
My
all.
lady, you're up here with me.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, unless all the horses are taken, I can also steer the wagon.
No, I'm not driving it either. I'm just riding.
Yeah, I tie Mordecai to the bottom of the wagon with the rest of the with the beef jerky and such.
What was the movie where the guy's underneath the car, hanging on underneath, riding in his Cape Fear? Was it
Cape Fear? Yeah, for like 300 miles.
Hope you don't hit a speed bump.
Yeah, it's like I could see you doing that for like, I don't know, 3 to 5 miles tops, but they go all the way from their lake house to like the
Drive over like a down branch or something, man. Oh god.
Yeah, they like drive all day long.
Never
I
seen
think when
that.
they stop to refill with gas, they would notice there's a dude clinging to the bottom of their car.
You're leaking oil? Red oil?
He plays a really
Dark.
dude.
Yeah. It's from the 90s. All right, so I'm grabbing all of our little headache pens. Oh. Boy.
Don't say shit like that while we're trying.
I
Right?
just remembered a.
Like I just remembered, you all are dead.
Well,
Don't say
at one point, you had an unconscious person that Riz was carrying.
Who was that?
The one who fired the arrow.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
Oh, we forgot we had a
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
The skewer, the shish kebab.
He's
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, plenty of time to question this guy on the way to Candlekeep.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, I was like, I'm like, who's this guy who's laying on the? Oh God, now I know.
Oh.
Man, it puts a different kind of perspective on those roles for like
Right? Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Stealth. Like like, do the guards notice you? No,
deception. Yeah, the deception roles. Ah, it's my buddy Bernie. He really tied one on, you know.
My cousin Bernie.
Right.
Weekend.
Had a little too much to drink at the tavern. It's all good.
We're going for a weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, Riss just takes his rapier and sticks it right through the middle of him so that he can stand with it under his cloak and like hold him up by the rapier.
I can always drop the illusion off myself and burn a spell slot if it moves the night along.
So we had Grin. Did you want to be in a horse as well? I think you said yes, right? Grin, Riz, Jaren,
Lucius.
How big is the wagon? How many can the wagon hold or fit?
Yeah, I mean, two people can sit side by side on the front bench, and then you could probably load
Is it an
half a dozen
enclosed
people.
wagon? Because I need to be
Oh, okay.
enclosed.
It's an open wagon. It is a very utilitarian. It's not like.
How am I going to take a nap in the back of the wagon? Is there a bench in the back? Or like a bed, flat bed?
Yeah, it's like a flat bed.
Oh, it's a flatbed. Yeah, you can get down and dirty in there.
Yeah,
I would imagine the Coda would be in the wagon with myself and Elsa.
Yeah, the half orc should
with
definitely be back there.
Driving.
And
Somebody competent driving.
The half elf troubadour should definitely be.
which is not myself. I am.
There we go. So we actually have one riding horse, which is unridden. There are 4 riding horses, and the only riders are Jaren, Grin, and Riz.
I don't know how to ride a horse.
That's okay. You basically have a fresh horse in reserve.
One of those horses.
In case we need to go somewhere in a hurry, we've got a fresh horse.
That would be Grin. Or Grin.
No, Grin is riding a horse. I would say.
You don't want the cat driving.
Well, Lucius was going to ride a horse. I don't know if you heard him.
Lucius is going to ride a horse? Okay, awesome. Okay, good to know.
I mean, 'cause if you get
And then maybe Darius can steer the wagon.
Yeah, Darius can certainly try. I mean, it's.
Yeah, he'll be an intimidating wagon driver. Maybe
He'll verbally demean the horse.
Perhaps even have him ride shotgun, and somebody else should drive it. You know, he'll be like security.
Yeah. Well, I think it's one of those things. It's like as long as nothing like super out of the ordinary, strenuous happens. Just like I've ridden a horse before, I didn't fall off, and we even trotted. But like if that horse had gotten spooked or took off on a bolt, I'd be on my ass faster than you could say, "Holy shit," because I'm not a horse rider. But it's kind of the same thing. Like if it's just a very leisurely stroll, everything's going to be perfectly fine. Yeah.
I mean,
like I said, I shouldn't be driving.
Like we live in a world where, you know, wagons and horses are super, super, super common. So probably every single one of us, with the exception maybe of Elsa, has driven a wagon or seen a wagon being driven.
Yeah.
And most of us have probably ridden horses before, at least a little bit.
Right.
Unless you're a real urchin of the inner city like I was.
Now it's going to get a little bit more difficult.
But I was, of course, very fortunate, of course, to be taken in by House Elton. So, of course, I have been instructed in the ways of horsemanship. The very basics, at least.
Filthy animals, really.
We're gonna load
Quite
up the
clean,
wagon
actually.
full of smoked dragon pants to deliver.
Yeah, manufacture of smoked dragon plants must continue unabated, sir.
All right, and if y'all can find your, perfect.
I can find myself. I'll have to.
Oh, and I will. Well, because I was looking and I was like, oh, yeah, Elsa's character is already back up to 23 out of 26. So I think when you add it onto your character sheet, it automatically transfers it onto your token.
Yes, it does.
Which is
That makes sense. That's like the whole
super
point
awesome.
of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the plan anyway. So here we'll do like this.
Oh, you love the wagon.
There's the wagon. All right, and this is going to bring us to you end up passing through Whitkeep and Southsfoot, smaller sort of settlements on the outskirts. The Whitkeep Hostel. So it says, in a city often thought to be dour and dangerous, the Whitkeep Hostel is a spark of light and levity. Built by a wealthy caravan operator who lost their fortune to monster attacks, this white-walled manor house was quickly overtaken by squatters and has now spent most of a century as an all-gnome artist's commune. Though only gnomes are invited to rent one of the Rambling Manor's 37 studio apartments, Voldurians of all races are welcome to socialize at the place's infamous surrealist parties or attend its concerts and offbeat art happenings. As such, the hostel has become the central gathering point for the city's radicals and revolutionaries, as well as many artists and dreamers. You can hear all of this definitely from Darius Toda. He's like, oh, I know this place. I've heard of it. Oh, I've wanted to visit the Stone Alone. This seems like such a great
Aaron loves these places.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Twin Songs, again, it's a small kind of fishing and trade village. You have people that are not only fishermen but also merchants. They will do barges up and down the river. And that leads to Worms Crossing, which gets us to, I have a, yeah, yes, that's right. Actually, I think my guy Worm was WURM. Worms Crossing. This neighborhood is actually two enormous bridges, each spanning half of the Chiantar River and meeting at Worms Rock, which is a tall, rocky islet in the center. While the Flaming Fist maintains a fortress on the island, attacks travelers along the coastway, and controls city access in times of trouble, the bridges themselves are fair game for squatters. Ramshackle wooden tenements, taverns, and shops crowd both sides of the arched stone span, leaning out over the narrow road between them. Even more cling to the sides of the bridges, anchored to each other or cantilevered over the water. The tendency of these latter structures to occasionally drop into the rushing river, pulling their neighbors down with them, is not enough to deter residents who hope to be the first to sell to travelers on their way into the city, or the last to pick their pockets on the way out. Even among members of the outer city, residents of Worms Crossing have a reputation as rakes and riffraff, and the neighborhood specializes in seedy dive bars and gambling halls, where belligerent drunks can be ejected directly out over the river. This is why this is one of Grim's favorite places. At the same time, it also has a large and tight-knit Strongheart halfling community, whose low-ceiling tenements and lighter weight are perfect for the neighborhood's precarious architectural style. So as you can see, like these smaller little buildings that are clinging to the basically the pillars of the bridge are where most of the halflings live. Let's see. Worms Rock, which is directly in the center. It says this formidable fortress rises from the center of the river on an algae slick islet. Its sheer walls nearly impossible to scale. Built by the Flaming Fist on a rock once said to have housed a bronze dragon, the fortress is the first checkpoint at which Baldur's Gate taxes northbound travelers. Anyone seeking to cross the river via the fortress's two massive bridges must pay the 5 copper piece toll and pass through the fortress via a long central tunnel riddled with arrow slits and murder holes. Between 25 and 50 Flaming Fist soldiers staff the checkpoint at any time, which operates only during the day. After dark, the drawbridges on either side of the keep are raised, halting all traffic and forcing latecomers to take shelter at one of the many bridgetop inns in Worms Crossing until morning. Right now, it has been about maybe 2 hours since you guys left the square. So it's only about maybe approaching 2 in the afternoon. So right now, the bridge is rife with traffic, even given the fact that the major gates have been closed to all business going in and out, save a very few who are lucky enough to get passes from the Flaming Fist. You know that, well, probably there's a lot of travelers who come from very far places away that it's probably taken them weeks to get here and have no idea of the climate of Fallen, El Terrell, nor the fact that Baldur's Gate is now basically a sealed city. And so you still do have massive amounts of traffic going across the bridge.
Are we on the bridge?
Perfect. Let's
yeah.
now is our chance. While traffic is at its most thick.
Yes. So I would say you're at the foot of the bridge.
On the other side of the bridge?
You're on the northern side of the bridge here. You're at
Are we going to the southern side?
You're going to the south side.
Going to the south side.
Have we seen any Flaming Fist along our way?
I'm sorry, is the what?
Have we seen any Flaming Fist while we've been traveling?
Flaming Fist since you left Baldur's Gate proper.
Is that typical?
In the last 5 days since the whole, shutting of the gates and the fall of El Terrell, yes, that is more typical.
Because everybody came into the city.
Yeah, basically, because it's kind of the whole reason why you guys were recruited deputized as members of the Flaming Fist because they were so absolutely overtaxed and overburdened just at the gates. They basically pulled in all their patrols, everybody from anywhere else, and got them at the gates to try to, stem the tide of this massive refugee influx.
Okay, so we probably can't. We probably won't expect to see any Flaming Fist for the rest of the way through.
Except at Worms Rock. At Worms Rock is at the Flaming Fist Fortress that's dead square in the middle of Worms Crossing.
All right, but they're probably just as overwhelmed as all the other Flaming Fists.
Especially right now, especially with the traffic at its highest.
Right.
Since we left as soon as we killed all the demons, nobody's got there before we have.
They don't have
Yeah, it would be a good bet that we are as fast or faster than we're getting our benefit.
Yes.
I need to start now.
Either way, Mordecai, keep your enchantments going if you can, sir.
What enchantment?
Or
I'm
not? No longer.
Enchantment.
Any of are you not holding one for
Your
Your Highness?
That dispelled long ago.
Oh. Well, that is unfortunate. Can you do it again?
I would say
On her, just her, maybe.
Yes. I believe the rest of us can be overlooked. I do not know if a noble would go unnoticed if they were to see her. They've probably got paintings back there, for God's sakes.
I don't think they're going to be searching every cart. Worst case, you have a couple people like, our drought and patriots can just like throw a blanket on, lay down the cart or whatever like that.
I could sit on top of them like a cat on a bench.
You sir.
Need to be covered up.
Yes, you need to be covered up. I personally think that we could probably get through the checkpoint with little problem if we just moved quickly and kept our face down. If they're this overwhelmed and there's this much traffic,
That's perfect, Mordecai.
I don't think they're going to be checking every car, particularly not going out. They're more worried about what's
We're on the
coming
way
in.
in.
No.
I will disguise the lady either way.
And in Rivington is where Balster Fisk said meet him. He is the scribe for Silvara Silvacos on the way to Candlekeep. So
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like,
we need
hey,
to go
take
there.
care of whatever, because you guys were like, we got to do this thing. He's like, okay.
See you at Rivington.
Yeah, he's like, I'll be in Rivington. It's on the way. Just come.
So that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Stop fucking around. Let's go. Because I'm falling asleep. I'm gonna get an Uber.
All right. Let's do.
Are you getting an Uber?
I'll get an Uber later because the cats will not let me sleep. The cats will, but the cat hair in the house will not. Oh, it's not your fault. It's your house.
Never
God,
thought about asking that.
God strikes me down for the sins of my present.
Right.
Just the way life is. He gives me the hair and then he strikes the other hair. There's a counterbalance. What did you call it? Immediate karmic return?
You guys get to Worms Rock.
Worms Rock.
And as you see this very formidable military fortress, you can see there are a number of guards doing their job collecting taxes. Anyone coming in to, crossing from the south to the north has to pay the 5 copper tax. But as you are traveling north to south, they wave you right through, seemingly without any type of
No bother.
Yes.
I feel
They're
like
they're
pulled us
glad.
in from the Jenga and put it right on top.
No, they're glad that we left because there's so many
Okay, so
people
now pull
going.
up Jenga blocks, see if we made it.
Not like that.
We should play that game. That sounds awesome. Like, go to the giant Jenga.
Go to the Giant Jenga and see if you do it. Yeah, sorry. So for all of our critical failures who are watching and who may not be familiar, there is a role-playing game called Power of Dread, and instead of most of the scenarios are meant to be one-offs, and they're mostly based off of like horror kind of slasher genres. So it's usually like a bunch of teenagers at a lake, and they're being some Friday the 13th villain is trying to kill them all. But instead of using dice to determine the outcome of events and whether or not somebody's successful, you literally have a Jenga tower. And so it's like, all right, I want to, swim across the lake and get away from the bad guys. Like, all right, so go and pull a block and see if you make it. And it's
swim across the pool.
It is definitely interesting because once that tower gets a little wobbly, everything gets a lot more serious. And if you try to pull a block and you fail, your character either dies or is removed from the game. Like say, it doesn't necessarily mean because you're dead, but they are, like some of the things where they go insane, they fall into a catatonic state, they take a job in a different state. They, like that was literally one thing. They take a better paying job in a different state.
That was a very harsh sentence.
Yes, well, and since everything's meant to be a one-off, it's not like some ongoing. Yeah. So they do say think of most 1980s, Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street. If you have a couple of these plucky kids survive, consider it a win because most
people
choose
your own adventure.
Yes, it's a whole lot of fun. We've done it a couple times here. We've actually thought about live streaming it on Twitch to all of our failures because it is very entertaining. But back to our game, we are crossing over the Worms Crossing, Worms Rock. You do feel a little bit uneasy as you're passing down this long corridor filled with arrow slits, and then you can also see the murder holes where basically someone could stab a long spear through, and if not kill you, at least severely delay your ability to cross the area. And you see the eyes of dozens of Flaming Fist soldiers just kind of staring you guys down. Luckily for you, there's enough traffic on the bridge, being that this is midday, that there are a lot of other travelers that are also garnering the same sort of attention, scrutiny, as they are passing through the bridge. And it does definitely seem like the guards are paying much more attention to those traveling from the south to the north, making sure that they have to be stopped, searched, and pay their 5 copper tax before they can pass through Worms Rock. But it is at least a little bit of a harrowing situation, as you know. If something happens here, you are in the midst of a Flaming Fist fortress with dozens of Flaming Fist veterans ready to pounce.
The ones we don't want to run into.
Wait, you find the senior commander and throw a drink in his face? You're not so tough.
Tell him those aren't his men, those are mine.
What are you doing with all my soldiers? What? These aren't your soldiers. They are now. You make it across the way to Rivington, and as soon as you cross, you see there is a small tavern on the left, right here, and there is literally a wooden placard hanging from a little hanger outside the main door, and carved into it, somewhat crudely, but at least legibly, looks like with a dull knife, it says "The Last Tavern on the Left," and it is literally the last tavern on the left side of the road before you get to Worms Crossing.
Is there a tavern on the right side of the road a little further down?
And outside of the tavern, you see there is, it's kind of think of like an old Western saloon. It's got like the kind of the doors that just swing on hinges, and there are there's places to hitch up your horses on the outside with a large water trough, as well as bench seats sitting right outside for people to cool off in the hotter days. And you see sitting outside on one of the benches, sipping from a large wooden tankard, none other than Ballister Fisk. And he is engaged in what seems to be a somewhat heated conversation with a portly woman seated next to him.
Do I recognize the one sitting next to him?
What the hell is Ballister Fisk doing out here?
This is where he actually said that he was going to meet you, because you guys were like, "Hey, we've got stuff to do. I don't remember if you told him. I think you sidestepped the telling him exactly what your plans were, that you were going to meet with the courtiers, but you were like, "We've got stuff to do, but you know, we will go to Candlekeep. So, and he was like, all right, well, I'm on my way there. So he's like, I'll wait at Rivington for you because it's on the way. He was like, meet me there when you guys are ready to go, but I'm going to be leaving like a day because I need to get the fuck out of here and get back. Because again, he
like us needs to leave immediately.
Oh yes, well he was again because you guys rescued him from the dungeons of Belmar Van Tamper's mansion, so he has no reason nor love of Baldur's Gate and wants to get out
Isn't he
of
the
there.
one who gave us the shield that I took from him?
No.
That was
because we killed him, right?
Yes, that was Fabius Creed.
Yeah.
He was the former high of Eldrazi.
Ballister Fisk, he was one of the two people who was chained up in the little prison. It was him, and then it was that hot girl that we went and ate at her parents' place.
You guys a hot girl?
Yes.
Then we bugged out quick because we were the next day.
Yeah.
The one that Grin tried to seduce and ended up settling for
Mordecai.
something way more memorable.
Way more scarring.
Well, technically, Grin did get laid twice that night.
So Fallister Fisk, he's the guy who every time he says the name Falmara Van Thamper, he just refers to her as that bitch every single time.
Yeah, I think that's him. Yeah, that bitch Selma. Well, I think Liera Portier. Actually, I think you're thinking of Liera Portier. She fucking hates him.
Yeah, who are we going down to try to find? The one with are we finding?
Somebody you haven't met yet. So Fallister Fisk. So he's like a librarian, right? And he's also a scribe. So he works for. Basically, think of him as like a TA at a university, and his professor is this woman named Silviris Tobacos.
And that's
the one who was like, you need to talk to her. Yeah. Because he was like, holy shit. Once he saw that you guys have a puzzle box and then the shield, and he was like, who the fuck are you guys? Like, you guys have two things that that are extremely rare, and I've only read about in books, and you guys have two of these things. Like,
he's that guy.
Yeah, he was like, who are you? Where did you come from? And where did you find this shit? Like, I've been studying. He said he's been studying this stuff for a decade, and has only read second and third hand descriptions of these things. And he's like, I can't believe, he's like, I never thought in my lifetime I'd actually see one, and then to see two of these things, and you guys have them. He was like, that's why he was just like, who are you? Like, who are you, and how the fuck did you end up with this?
Yeah, I recommend we collect him quickly.
Yeah, we need to keep him close to the vest.
Yeah.
So we made visual contact with him.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And he I would say he seems more enamored and in awe of you guys than like suspicious, because he's just like
he should.
He's like a fanboy, because he's like,
yeah, that'll make it easier to control him then.
And holy crap! Not only do you have a puzzle box, you also have this shield. So,
hey, that's enough. Stop saying that all the time. You need to. Do you understand what you could be exposing us to? Shut your mouth.
Yeah. So he is he's sitting sipping from a large wooden tankard. Looks to be probably beer, ale, mead, something, and engage in conversation with a rather portly woman, middle-aged, to his right. He is so distracted by his conversation, he does not see your entire
entourage.
Yes, right up.
Well, there's only one way to do it. So
kill everybody, burn the whole place.
You have time to stop for a drink.
Nuke it from orbit.
Jaren rides the horse up to the mission post, which you see sitting on the porch, like right outside.
Yep.
So I just ride straight up to him, dismount, one loop over, step up, stand right behind the portly woman,
standing
and make eye contact with him and say, "It's time to go. Get your things now. We're leaving."
and you see him. He's in the middle of a conversation. He's like, my good woman, you see, you don't understand the finer nuances of Bulgarian poetry. Because if you go to the fourth stanza, you'll see that. Oh my God! Oh, you're here! Oh, I'm so sorry, madam, but we'll have to continue this conversation later. Are we? Can I get you around? Would you like something to wet your whistle before we hit the road, perhaps?
Yes, very much. Yes.
With ale.
Get your bag.
In the wagon. In the wagon, Poindexter.
What, you don't already have a small keg with you?
About to say, can we buy a keg for the
You
road?
need to get. This is your task.
He takes one more sip and sets it down, and he's like, yes, yes, off we go. All right. He's like, so, am I getting on your horse with you then?
You're getting in the wagon.
In the wagon, yes, sir. Yes, all right.
Alistair, get us a cask of wine or ale for the road. We're going to be quite thirsty.
Hold on. Let's get him in the cart and moving, and then on the way out, Darius and I will hop into the shop on the way out, and then we'll pick up 3 or 4 days of supply and water and ale, and then we'll throw a couple bags in the back of the cart, and then we can be on our way.
We shall be on our way now.
Very good. Don't forget the ale. I'm very thirsty.
I'll get right on that.
And did he mention the ale?
But where's the rum?
It's a cat and a nap.
No one said anything about rum.
Okay, so we got ale and rum. Okay. By the way, for the record, I'm using all of Darius's gold for this. Love you, Alan.
I thought, what's his name, had all our gold.
No.
Grin.
No.
Didn't somebody spend it all on a bunch of shit? Yeah.
Yeah, I think a couple of times people have bought some stuff.
I, for the record, got my shit for free.
There you go. Not you,
I
then.
think. And from.
Jude.
Okay, so
I didn't buy any because I don't need it.
well, yes, Darius will.
I need like a magic.
Will absolutely
Gives me like an AC.
have a drink for the road if Mordecai is offering.
Oh yeah.
I don't take it. I try to rape you.
Yeah. you don't know this.
He's a little gnome or whatever he is, like a pixie.
Tiefling.
Then he's small.
Yeah.
He's like regular size.
I don't know. Look at Joe.
I don't know Joe, so I cannot. Everybody's the same size.
All I see is his little head.
I'm just saying. I know him from Zoom, therefore
That's
he could
all.
be like 6'5" and 235.
All we see is his head.
I don't know.
That ain't me.
That ain't me. God damn it, Joe.
So whilst this is going on, like I'll trot my horse out there, and like Darius can jog after me since he's probably as fast as the horse is, and then we'll immediately grab to the little general store supplies for the entire party for, let's say, 4 days, to include ale and rum, and a cask of rum and a cask of ale.
A cast? That's a
Pony
big
keg.
pony kid.
Pony keg, bro.
Flash Ian, you gonna do something? Wait, something's gonna
He's
happen.
gonna start talking shit. He's gonna, and can I assume that you still generally see no sign of Flaming Fist or like local authorities? It's still pretty like do what you want kind of.
Yeah, this is some Wild West. Yeah.
Can I assume that when Mordecai goes to sleep, he puts my shield back?
No.
Mordecai goes to sleep, he puts my shield back. Boost my AC by 2.
Oh yeah, Mordecai taps the keg and starts pouring drinks for anybody he can reach. getting road trip drunk party. Let's do it.
You guys just pulled a classic snack stop and spent like a bunch of 9-year-old kids. Ale snacks. Just picked up a traveler. Oh, that was what that empty horse was for. Alistair Fish.
So I feel like at this point, Elsa's taking a moment to thank everyone for coming to her birthday party.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, by the way.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. And if you started speaking, I would ride over and be like, "Quiet, milady."
Perhaps Perhaps let's wait until your next birthday
We're
party.
not. We're passively neutral.
All right.
We're enjoying.
We're gonna outrun the flaming. We're gonna outrun our own notoriousm.
Reputation.
Notoriety. There you go. Notoriousm.
That's what you should get tattooed.
Notorious.
Notoriousm.
This is what happens. 11:30.
All right. Yes, you were able to buy yourself a keg of ale. It is going to cost you.
Grin, do we already have a bunch of oil, lantern oil or oil of some kind?
We have a barrel. We have an entire barrel of oil. We have a shit.
Okay, perfect. And you're getting a cask of some sort of alcohol.
Yeah,
we can mass supply Molotov cocktails.
We actually have a barrel of wine as well, and we have a cask of strong rum. I figured out the carrying capacities and like the sizes and how much this shit costs. So we can't fit any more in the bag of holding. We can fit a little bit more, but we can't fit a whole barrel of stuff. But
we can take some out and throw it in the wagon.
Yeah. So we'll keep the ale in the wagon for now. But yeah, we've got a cask of the strongest alcohol I could find.
I'm not going to agree with that.
Excellent.
but Grin was told we're saving that for Molotov cocktails. So
this place it doesn't have ale. It's got mead, bitter, and perry, which is fermented pear juice.
Oh, is that a real thing?
Mm-hmm. Actually is. I just had to look it up.
Mead,
so I was like,
ale, and pear.
Yeah, I was like, Perry, Perry. What the hell? And I was like, all right, I got to look this up. Perry, also known as pear cider, is an alcoholic beverage made from fermented pears, traditionally the Perry pear. It has been common for centuries in England, particularly like Gloucestershire, Herefordshire.
Did it say the Perry pear?
Fucking
Perry pear.
Shire snobs.
It could be the beginning. It could be the beginning. Like this, and then the other one comes.
I feel like we need to find a Perry pear.
That'd be cool.
If I did the first 3 books. Those aren't my favorite books. I mean, they're good. But... Notorious.
All right. You get your supplies and you are off on your road again. All right. Now on again.
So slightly swerving.
We're at the end.
That's true.
That's when we had gone.
We're on the first bar on the right.
Now, have we advanced yet?
You
all of this stuff in the section?
You do manage to hold on. Let me. Easy. It's actually a very uneventful journey all the way to Candlekeep. You do see every once in a while, a smaller merchant caravan passing you on the road, obviously on their way to Baldur's Gate. But there is not any other encounter of note. It is thankfully uneventful as you get to the Candlekeep, which is this place. Dun, dun, dun.
Bum, bum, bum.
Candlekeep was a famous library fortress that stood proud as a bastion of enlightenment and knowledge of the Sword Coast for many centuries. It housed a magnificent collection of books and scrolls of lore, considered the greatest collection of varieties in all Faerun. The keep was home of the Avowed, a group of renowned scholars and people of learning that revered great Seer Alondo and his collection of prophecies that foresaw many great events to pass throughout the ongoing history of the realms. And never mind the fact that it always refers to it in the past tense, Candlekeep still stands.
Do we hear like a super large pipe organ play, like?
Set light their grilled shaped beacon.
And that is Lorana. That is cool. Lorantha Lassa.
When we do that, that's fucking sick. That's gonna be like epic. That should be
Library Fortress.
See that one?
That's one dragon with 5
Yeah.
heads.
Tiamat.
So, the Thalister is going to be able to get us in. That's
Takhisis.
Yes.
And we got some books. Didn't we have buy some books? Alan bought some books, I think.
Yes, he said he can get you a meeting with Severe Savacus, but they do require a rare or unique tome or book in order to enter Candlekeep.
We have to have one.
Mm-hmm.
We have a box.
I believe we already possess some books, do we not?
Yes, Darius. Darius has a book that he can present. It is.
Too bad Alan's not here to roleplay that.
I know.
Do we have to?
He would definitely love
Do
it.
we have to give them the book or just show them the book?
Give them, yes. You gift them a book to add to their library, and they in turn then give you entrance
for the entire party.
Thought I remembered taking 1 or 2 books off of Darius. I think he showed me some that I might be interested in.
Yes. Yes, he has. Yes, yeah, he will present to the scribes at Candlekeep. It is a book that he got from the library of the Van Dampers called The Tumbledown Tales. It is a very highly sought after work of erotic fiction that is considered quite body and lewd. But it seems like the scribes kind of brighten up when they see that, like, oh, this is something that we have been looking for a very long time. This is quite a good, book. Yes, yes, I'm sure that the scribes will have great pleasure in transcribing it into all of the known languages of the realms. We thank you very much for your donation. Please welcome yourself to the library. You are more than welcome to peruse any of the novels that you find on the bookshelves, although make sure that any of them that you plan on checking out, they cannot leave the keep. However, we do have private reading areas separated around the premises, so make sure that you tell one of the librarians which books that you would like to take and look at, and welcome. If you have any other questions, you can find one of our scribes. We wear the very typical brown robes of the scribes. They have the golden hem along the cuffs and the collar. That is how you can recognize us from everyone else. And please, no food Fisk, he bows to him, and Faustus says, "I guess these are my friends. We're here to see Silvera Savacus. We very much appreciate your hospitality." And he takes you inside. Inside.
Wait, it must be like evening by now, right?
Oh, yeah, days have passed. 2 days have passed.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you were on because
it was a 2-day trip.
It's yeah, 70 miles, I believe.
Oh shit.
We travel
Look at this.
like 20, usually like 25 miles a day. 25 to 30 miles a day.
So we should get like all. So technically, we've had like long rests and shit.
Yes, true. Ooh. Let's see.
All the spells back. Blink, blink, blink. Blink.
Handle key. Oh, there it is. So let's see. Boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop.
All right, Gengo, I hate to say it, but I have to call a little bit early tonight. I got a crazy day tomorrow.
Sorry, it was. It's going to take about
Night,
4
Joey.
days.
See you, Joey. Joe.
Good night, Joe. I'm not far behind Joe.
Oh, and so Joe, before you go,
Yeah.
level up to level 5 for next
Boom,
Nah.
Only Joe gets to live
What? I'm gonna leave too.
That was the first person to go. It was the only person.
We can end it here. You guys have made it all the way to Candlekeep. There's going to be some big exposition as
yeah, don't miss that.
Local scholar of the Nine Hells is going to be explaining a lot of things to the characters. So this actually might not be a bad spot to end it. And everyone, yes, now that you've made it to Candlekeep, this is the milestone. You have made it.
Baby.
Woo woo!
So very well on the random encounter table. So you made it unmolested all the way from Baldur's Gate because I was like, shit could go really swirly here. But consider everyone has had a long rest. You've made it to Candlekeep. You're now level 5, and we can pick up next week at Candlekeep, level 5. The meeting with Severa Savacos, who is the resident scholar and historian expert of the Nine Hells.
We just
Level up.
leveled up.
Level up.
We, so we went up. I think I heard you correctly. We went up 5.
I've
We are
leveled
now.
up.
All right. Jay, nice job. Nicely done.
I've been waiting for weeks. I'm just like, Jake's never going to the bathroom. So I
Jake
get thrown
made
off.
he went pee, didn't pee on the toilet seat, leveled up.
We went up. Yeah, we went up 5 levels.
Mark your calendar, Greg. 8/8/2023. We should hit level 10. We'll know if we're ahead or behind of our pace this way. All right, guys. Congrats again to you, both of yous. Love you guys.
We do more milestones.
Yeah. I am well aware. Well aware. That's why I'm like, can we get out of the house anytime soon? No, we can't.
Well, and I am always a fan of even before I was doing the milestones, which I think are great. I loved like in Everyone Dies when people would figure out non-combative ways of doing encounters, like with the Duke of Colchester, who was one of my favorite characters. He was an enemy. He was a fire salamander. So he was like, and he was which is basically he was a mini dragon. Yeah, like a prince from the elemental plane of fire who had been basically magically compelled, like gated in to guard this particular room. And the characters get there and they see this guy, and the guy's looking at him, and they're looking at the guy, and the guy's like, hey, he's like, all right, let me introduce myself. I'm the Duke of Colchester. I have been magically compelled to guard this room. However, if you can free me from this stupid spell and get me out of here, I would more than happily, let you have whatever's in this box behind me. However, just resisting this long is causing me excruciating pain. So please make your decision very, very quickly. Otherwise, I'm going to have to kill you. Did you turn off this Dungeon Master screen? Yeah. Yeah, or
Session
yeah.
46, leveled up to level 5.
No, it was super cool. And then so our wizard Landorian, they're like going, is this guy like a good guy? And it's like somebody was like did detect alignment. No, he's evil. Well, how bad is he? Oh, he's lawful evil. So I mean, he's
telling the truth.
And like, yeah, he is telling the truth. Like, how bad is it if we let this guy go? And
Lawful evil holds to their word better than lawful good.
Oh yeah,
Every time.
lawful good's like, I can be forgiven. Lawful evil's like, I'm already beyond forgiveness.
Yeah,
so I have this one thing and I stick to it. But yeah, so it was neat. Yeah, so Landorian, Dave Jack's character, who was a wizard, teleported him outside the dungeon so he could tell me. He was like, thank you. Please have whatever treasure you want. I'm going to get the hell back to the elemental from the fire. This place sucks. He's been trapped there for, yeah. Because it's like you put yourself into like, why are these monsters in this dungeon? You know, is it their home, or have they been like magically compelled to do this? And this guy was obviously, this is not his home, so he's been magically compelled. So he's like, hey, if you don't want to fight me, I'm totally cool with that. Like, I will totally kill you if that's the way you want to go. But if you could just get me out of here, we don't have to do this whole thing. Like, I'm totally cool with just getting the hell out. So that's the win. Mm-hmm. They also did that with what was his name, the Titan, who tried to eat Erevan.
Well, we turned him into an ally.
Yeah. And he threw a boat at a
and then I
dragon.
sat on his shoulder
Yeah.
and rode him like a.
Yeah, and he threw a well, it wasn't a boat, it was a ship.
He threw
it was like a
ship
galleon
at
at a dragon.
Because everyone went out.
Yeah. It was at the
So
very end.
everyone was level 20, and yeah, they had this guy who again he'd been stuck on this island, and had gone a little bit fucking mad because he's a Titan, so which is a race of creatures that are like bigger than giants. They're huge, right? They're like 40 feet tall, and he was like the king of his local like area when he got sucked into this portal, and now he's stuck in this stupid land. And again, they got him out, and so still not really all there, but you know, he just wanted to smash stuff. He was like, oh, he's like, if you can get me back to my people, he was like, yeah. He's like, my people are a warlike bunch. He's like, we'll conquer the world.
We said, well, we have a fight for you.
Yeah, like,
Have you ever fought dragons?
yeah. He was like, ooh.
Have you ever fought a dragon? How about 4?
Right, because first they beat him in combat.
Back to back to back.
And so he like, he was like, all right, I yield. And then they're like, all right, well, kill this guy or what? He's like, hey, a good fight. And so, yeah.
Have you ever fought a dragon?
Oh, yeah. So basically they sent him back to his area, but he'd been gone for so long that his entire tribe was gone. And so when they went back to find him, he's sitting there like
By himself.
all alone and pissed off. He's like, and they're like, hey, well, you want to fight? We totally got to fight for you. And he's like, this will be legendary.
And it
So
was.
he's just stomping through this city, knocking down buildings. Yeah, literally, like I think they were, they knew he was there because they're fighting this. They had to fight like 5 different dragons.
Back to back.
Yeah, back to back.
It wasn't like there was a
And this
long
blue
rest.
dragon comes. They'd already beat a red dragon.
No, we hit the blue dragon
And the
first.
the blue dragon was the one where he showed up.
I wrestled it to the ground.
Right, and that was after. Was it the blue dragon? Maybe it was the black dragon. Black dragon comes screaming overhead. And they just see this boat, this ship, a galleon, come flying in overhead. And they're like, "What the fuck?" And it smashes into
I know,
the
it
dragon.
was the blue dragon.
And then you hear, "Oh!" And the guy laughing. He's like, "Come here!" So he comes charging up over the hill. He's got another boat trying to smash, knocking buildings down on the dragon. So yeah, it was very neat. But again, like then the guy's like, "Wow, that's cool." I'm like, "Yeah." So you see, like there's a mother and father, and they're trying to drag the bodies of their children out of the house that just got trampled by the dragon. They're like, "Oh, yeah, that's right. This guy's kind of a fucking disaster."
Yeah, it's like the whole.
He doesn't care.
They were all in the China shop.
Yeah,
But there
He
were
didn't give a
5
shit.
dragons.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's like
We're like, "Oh,
that's like the that's like the
No,
Superman versus what's the bad guy, Zod, Superman versus General Zod, and then in the Batman movie, Batman versus Superman, they show it from like the people's perspective, and Superman and Zod are duking it out and lasering everything, and like all these buildings are falling on all the civilians down below. And,
all the people.
we're dying. right? You watch it from Superman's perspective, you're like, this is cool, and you watch it from the people's perspective, you're like, oh my god, this is like an apocalypse. Like everybody's dying.
Two gods fighting.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Superman and Zod were gods. They came from the same place. They're gods.
Yeah.
To the humans.
Oh yeah.
Those petty humans.
Which is why Homelander makes so much more sense to me than Superman does. I'm saying. Homelander. You not watch The Boys either?
I don't watch it.
What the fuck? What are you doing with your
We
life?
talked about The Boys. We talked about The Boys. The Boys are just so fucking vulgar, and we talked about it at dinner at your wedding.
Did we?
Yeah, with the other guy from.
Oh well, yeah.
I don't watch The Boys because it's just so like, dude, really?
See, it's more to me like, oh, it's like,
I'm like, dude, come on. I mean, that's like
they showed naked boobies. How could they?
I mean, I'm okay with the naked boobies. But the poor young gal who shows up and he's like, give me head. And she's like, really? Like, really? Yeah, like, really? Like, I'm a god. And she's like, okay. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I don't think I want to watch that.
so you didn't get that far into it.
I was like, done. I mean, I go 15 minutes in and that's what I see. I'm like, glorify rape. I'm okay.
Oh, she
gets her back.
Oh, she gets her power.
But still, I'm like, really? This is what I'm gonna watch?
Because he basically lies to her. He's like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm the second.
I'm the one who's gonna get you go." Yeah, I'm
right. And then she's like, "You know what?" She goes, "I was talking to everybody else. You're not the second in command. You're a joke. Everybody else just looks at you, the fish guy."
You're the fish guy. I just was like, this. I could see how this is going to go, because it's just going to be more of it.
Oh, and it gets
progressively worse. My personal opinion. I know the rest of y'all like it.
I've never seen it.
What?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Oh my god! No, you gotta.
Jack's never seen it.
Yeah. Get the gander. If you watch the first episode and don't like it, I'd say that's legit. Like, because I know, like somebody was like a buddy of mine. He said that he tried to get his wife to watch Game of Thrones, and she watched the first episode. And when at the end of the first episode, so spoiler alert, when they push the kid out the window and he falls, and then she was like, "Oh nope, that's it, I'm done." She's like, "Nope, can't watch kids getting killed." And he was like, "Okay."
I'm all for good gratuitous violence. I'm just not. Some things I'm like, my brain goes way too dark for some of that. I cannot willingly put more shit into my head that I already have.
That voice can get dark.
I mean, I already have enough dark shit here. I don't need to just like, let me pour visual representation of how shit you really are.
It works for me because I know it's so far removed from reality because they're like superheroes.
Yeah, but just take the powers away. It's the same as the real life.
Yeah, but people in real life don't have powers. That's why I don't like watching like the shit on like H.H. Holmes. I don't want to watch that shit because that shit really happened. Real people did that, and it's fucking horrifying.
What?
Yeah. Like I will.
What movie are you talking about, Mark?
Aquaman.
You dress it up as a superhero.
Which movie were you talking about that was terrible?
Or like H.H. Holmes.
Oh.
Or any sort of like real life documentary on like serial killers and murderers and stuff like that. I do not watch because I'm like, shit is.
You know what movie scared the shit out of me was the one where they were all out in the ocean on a yacht and they all went swimming and one guy was all pissy, but then he was like, "Ah, fuck it, I'll go out there," and he jumps in too, and he was the last one on there and didn't put the ladder down.
Ooh.
Like that kind of shit can happen in real life, and that shit fucking terrifies me.
Right. I'm a fucking sailor. That freaks me the fuck out.
Right?
No transom.
Oh.
Imagine trying to reach up and grab a lifeline.
No, they tried doing that. They tried lifting each other up, and they don't have anything to leverage themselves.
Big
Yeah, not all of them made it.
Yeah.
I don't do water.
Although
yeah.
I've done open ocean racing, dude. That freaks me the fuck out.
I do like trying to lift each other up. That reminds me, there's a part in The Boys where they try to get. There's the Superman guy, right? He's basically Superman. He's called Homelander. And at one point, he's like trying to save this plane that's going down, and like one of the other supers is like, well, can't you lift it up? And he's like, lift it? There's nothing to stand up.
Yeah,
How the hell can I
where's
lift
my
it up?
leverage?
Hey, right. And she goes, well, I don't know. Can't you like fly into it? He's like, I mean, best case scenario, I'm either gonna punch a hole through it or knock it completely upside down. He's like, I don't know what to tell you. Because you like in Superman, he's like, lifts up a plane, and you're like, how does his whole flight thing work? He flies.
That thing does not obey the laws of physics at all.
That could be it. But because I was thinking too, I was like, yeah. So if he starts flying, he's basically impervious. So instead of him his force versus the force of gravity pushing the plane down, yeah, he might just punch right through the fuselage and
yeah.
Yeah,
it's like trying to lift a car with a nail. It's instead of lifting a car, you're just gonna push through the bottom of the car with the nail.
Yeah.
There's a really creepy horror. There's like a really weird horror movie that I saw years ago called Funny Games. It's like these two guys. It's not a documentary, but it's this weird thing where the two guys who are like the killers, they know they're saying that it's in a movie, and so they're like, well, this is the point where we leave, and then the victims try to call the police and try to whatever, they try to, it seems like they're about to escape, but then we show up again, and they show up again, and then they have this weird like rewind thing. But it's a totally creepy like horror movie where it's I don't know, it's different. It doesn't follow, it follows the horror movie script, but they telegraph it as they're doing it.
Like, I don't like the Saw movies because, well, the first one, I think it gets weird, but like that could really happen. People could drug someone and then put them in some fucking torture game. Superhero things, whatever.
Just blew me away with the whole twist at the end. I was like, oh my God, he was there the whole fucking time.
Yep.
I was just like, yeah.
He puts the lotion in the basket. It puts the lotion in the basket, or it gets the hose again.
It's the lotion in the basket.
Fuck me. Give me my dog, lady. Give me my dog. Put the lotion in the basket. Hold your fuck me.
And with that, I think we'll call it a night. Thanks, everybody. Everybody say goodnight. We'll see you guys next Monday for sure. Maybe Thursday.